光と闇から生まれた始まりは心によって育まれた。命は脈々と受け継がれ時が流れ、やがて世界となった大地は人々の暮らしを作り上げた。ここは光と闇、継ぐ者と継がざる者、夢と歪みを持った多層都市スカラ・アド・カエルム。子はやがて衆となり結社を組織した。継ぐ者の結社、継がざる者の結社、いくつもの衆は都市を巡る血脈のようにこの世界に張り巡らされていた。他ならぬ君がこの世界に目覚めたのは漆黒の空に美しく歪んだ星の降る夜だった。自分が望む結末ではなかったと絶望するのなら他の世界に退場すればいい。選択肢は無限にあるはずだ。
あなたはこの世界に来て7日間ずっと眠っていたの。ここはクワットラトゥム、聖者の世界ではあるけれど、私たちにとっては死の世界ってことになるみたい。一度退場すれば元の世界に戻れると思うな。
どこにいるんだよ。 手がかり見つかるといいね。
おい、どこへ行くんだよ。
Sheesh. Woof. Kingdom Hearts 4. Crazy. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Oh gosh. My gosh. Hopefully there's no audio issues or whatever. Because this stuff can be sometimes when you're live. You have all these problems and then it's just all over. It's just all over. Get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. Can hear me? That's great. Cool. So, yeah. So this is a random live stream. I don't usually do this. If I do a live stream, usually you're gonna know about it because I'll usually schedule it or whatever. But it's like 11 p.m. here in the UK, so it's quite late. But I was just thinking like, well, why not? I'm not doing anything else at this hour. And also I was going to post a video today, but I don't know if that video is going to be able to come out, unfortunately, because of YouTube being YouTube and copyright and whatever. And so basically because of that, I kind of felt like I want to do, I don't know, I just felt weird not posting something or not doing something. But since I don't have a video, I just thought instead I'll go live, and it's not scheduled, so I don't really know what it's going to be. Don't really know how many people are here. I appreciate everyone that has come so far, so I'm going to shout out everyone that has come to the stream so far. So thank you, Ely, or I'm pretty sure it's Ely. I don't know. It could be Eli, but appreciate you for coming. Thank you. The Ashen, is that Chevalier? Tell me if I'm saying that right or not, because I think it's Chevalier, but I could be wrong. But thank you anyway, for your message. Miranda coming in straight with the theory. I'm gonna get to you, Miranda. Appreciate you for coming. Thank you. I'm gonna get to you. Lady Lucina, yes, it's a random stream. Thank you. Kid Q, appreciate you for coming. Thank you. Happy born. That's a funny way of saying it. And all hell Kingdom Hearts, of course. I'm so hyped for the next saga. Yep, same. It's going to be amazing. Is anyone I haven't seen? Adonai, hello Adonai. You said no theories, but happy birthday. Appreciate your contributions. And I already said thank you to you for your comment, and I mean it. Biax, hey Novelist, how are you? I'm great. I'm good. I was about to say great, but don't say good. I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing? So honestly, this is one of those streams. Hold on, we like to have things kind of animated in the background, don't we? Let's have this video just running. Like, let's just have it running. We're not going to hear it because you need to hear me. But let's just have it running, right? So, yeah, this isn't one of those streams where it's like it's all planned and there's this whole thing going on. No, this is just some random impromptu stream where we're just gonna talk. I don't know if you guys have anything you want to say. If you have any theories, you might not. Whatever. But hey, if not, I'll do my best to talk. At the very least, I'll probably be on for like about an hour at minimum. Because that's basically yeah, in an hour's time it'll be midnight. So let's see. So I'm gonna go back to Miranda's comment and we're just gonna get straight into it. So Miranda said, my personal theory is that the nameless star is Sora's parallel. Oh no, Miranda, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me, Miranda? You're about to have the chat getting heated already. Let's go. My personal theory is that the nameless star is Sora's parallel self. She certainly isn't a doppelganger because she isn't a he, and being the same sex as the lookalike is a requirement. Okay. If you'd like to expand on that comment, please feel free to kind of, because I'm not sure. So you're saying she certainly isn't a doppelganger of who? Of Sora? Are you saying? I mean, yeah, she's definitely not a doppelganger of Sora. That's for damn sure. I mean, unless there's something going on we don't know about, but pretty sure she ain't. But yeah. I mean, my personal theory is that the Nameless Star is Sora's parallel. I mean, you know, Miranda, you have got to get a shout out for being one of the most stalwart believers in the Star Sora theory. I'm gonna be honest with you. These days, you know, I made a live stream like a couple months ago or something, basically talking about whether or not I still believe in some of my theories. And you know, when I did that, I went through that one and I was like, yeah, I still believe it, and I do, but I mean, I don't, I do. It's a bit, it's confusing. It's one of those things where it's like I'm wherever with it. I'm wherever with it. To be honest, I actually have some different thoughts about Stellar, Strelexia, and the Nameless Star that I have a theory video I want to make on it. It's gonna be kind of difficult to do, but it should be interesting. It's only difficult because it relies on information that's not really, I'm gonna say, solid. Like it's related to Versus 13 stuff, and it's kind of like Versus 13's murky. You know, like when you try and tie that in with theories and ideas, it gets a bit, you know, you have to be like, yeah, is it really solid? Is Versus 13 really? Even though I know a lot of the communities behind it, still for me, I have to be. I'm a bit careful that I'm not reaching too much with some of the Versus 13 stuff. Let's see if anyone else. So I'm gonna even address this. Yeah, I'm hyped for the next Saga 2. To be honest, right, like the only reason I'm making Kingdom Hearts content is because of this new phase. Like, you know, I don't think I would have been what I think of as a phase 1 content creator. No one calls it that. That's just something I call it. Like, you know, phase 1 content creators are people who, to me, basically made content before phase 2 began, right? So anyone who was making Kingdom Hearts content back like during when Kingdom Hearts, like Dreams of Distance came out, back when, you know, Union Cross was still fresh, or back even when Key was like the current thing. Like anyone who was making content back then, before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, to me, I think of them as a phase 1 content creator, right? So I would not be a phase 1 content creator. I'm definitely phase 2, because I only started making content right after Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. And after we got the secret ending. That was what my first video was about, the secret ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. So all of my content and a lot of my interest has been geared towards what's coming next. So for me, the fact that we're like all of this stuff, I'm all for it. Like I'm really into it, and I'm hyped. I'm excited. And I know some people look all of this. Some people saw this trailer and it was like, this is terrible. How could Sora look like this? He looks like Noctis. I hate this game. Look, man, that's not me. Everyone's free to have their opinions. And you know what? Kingdom Hearts is the type of series that it's been running for so long. Sooner or later, you know, some people are just they're gonna fall off. It's not gonna do it for them anymore. You know what I mean? This is a series many of us have been into since we were kids. You can't expect everyone to just still want to, you know, to still be as attached to it as they were when they was like 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever, you know. So I think it's natural. Sometimes you outgrow things, especially if what appealed to you is different. Like there's always been those fans that have really wanted more Square Enix stuff in Kingdom Hearts more than Disney, and then there's been those fans who want more Disney, and then there's been people who don't really care. You know, so me, I had to kind of grow over the years to learn to appreciate the Disney stuff a bit better, because I'm not gonna lie to you, when I was younger, I found a lot of it cringe, and I felt like, you know, I was just kind of like whatever. But as I've gotten older, perhaps that's a bit odd, but as I've gotten older, I actually appreciate it more, because it gives Kingdom Hearts a sort of innocence and a general kind of vibe that you don't get in other games, just in general, which is part of what makes it so unique. So yeah, these days I'm very, very happy to see Disney. That being said, how much Disney will get coming up, I don't know. This made me laugh, but we're gonna see Azora in the car again, just because of that the comment thread that was going on my reaction video to that. That was funny. The whole thing about him, what was it we said about, you said something about him, I don't even remember what it was, something about him firing his driver or whatever, and that's why he's driving in that car or something like that. It was funny. Yeah, so let's see what else we got. Chevalier. Leah. Okay, is that like I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna assume I'm kind of going on point with Chevalier. I'm happy to hear you're doing well. Thank you. Thanks. I'm glad that you're happy to hear that I'm doing well. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Marty, I'm said Marty. This is how you know it's getting to that hour where it's like I need to go to bed. Marta Might Die said, one of my favorite theories so far that I've made actual videos on is the idea that the start of Kingdom Hearts 4 is supposed to mimic Hermod's journey to hell. Well, you're going to have to enlighten me because I do not know the first thing about that. So please feel free to let me know a bit more about that because I don't know a damn thing. Okay, I don't know a damn thing. Boulder is Sora, Hermod is Riku, and Hell is Shalesia. Huh. Okay, that's obviously Norse mythology. So Boulder is Sora, Hermod. Are you saying like they're literally those characters, or do you just mean that you think there might be some like narrative or thematic parallels going on? Which one do you mean? Games and Movies Entertainment says this trailer is made into Unreal Engine 4. The next time we see the game will be on that. Yes, yep, I'm aware of that. Yep, that trailer was made in Unreal. Let's get the trailer up so we know what we're talking about here. Look at that. That's Unreal Engine 4. Jesus. And to think like that's gonna get upgraded, so that's Unreal Engine 5. Like that's pretty cool. It looks really good. Like, let's be honest, if the game was just made in Unreal Engine 4, like if it just came out like this, let's be honest, we'd probably like are you telling me you wouldn't still play this game? Like, come on now. You know you would. Better than Missing Link. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna hate on Missing Link. I'm not gonna do it. Where is the duck? The duck is gone. The duck is not present and it ain't coming back. I'll make sure it doesn't come back. I'll make sure that it does not come back. And then I says, Kingdom Hearts is truly good when you can leave your jaded, cynical self aside and enjoy the childhood nostalgia and good vibes. True. That is true. It's very easy to like bring that kind of stuff in when you're judging any type of like media or whatever. Like, it's very easy to just kind of bring in your personal state. That's why sometimes it's very important to kind of be self-aware of where you're at mentally, like, and in yourself when you engage with something, because sometimes people are like, this was bad and I hated it, or this was a terrible game or show or book or whatever, and it's like, was it, or was you just not in the right place for it? And conversely, the other thing can happen where you can be in the right place for something and then you go back and look at it years later when you're in a different place and you're like, oh, actually, yeah, I don't know what I saw in that. So that happens. It's part of life and growth. Narrative copy and paste, basically. Okay. I don't know much about that story to really judge whether or not it would be like that. But I see. I mean, I think there's a lot of people who think that like Norse and I was gonna say Egyptian or something, but I'm not sure. But I've definitely seen a lot of the Norse parallels, and it's obvious why. I mean, look, even when you look at like my picture that I've got up here, for those of you who don't know, okay, this image is Lenneth from Valkyrie Profile. Now, I did my Valkyrie Profile reaction. I got comments of people like, "What is this?" People like, "I don't know what this is. It's a Square Enix game. I've never heard of that." Right? So yeah, this is Lenneth from Valkyrie Profile. And I love Valkyrie Profile. I think it is criminally underrated, and I'm glad that there's a new Valkyrie game. I mean, there's a little bit of mixed feelings from the fans about it, but but whatever. I'm glad that there's a new game. But the point is that she's a Valkyrie, which is Norse mythology, and I'm just bringing it up just to kind of say, I think in Square properties in general, there's a lot of Norse characters, themes, and that kind of stuff that kind of comes in. And so, how much it impacts the general narrative of each game depends. You know what I mean? Funny enough, what was I watching the other day? I was watching something the other day. That's what it was, Final Fantasy 13. So I've been going back through Final Fantasy 13. I was like watching cutscenes of it and stuff. And they were saying like Ragnarok and all this. And I completely, because when I played Final Fantasy 13, it was way back when it first came out because I saw the launch trailer. I don't know if any of you saw it, but the launch trailer for it that had, I think it was Leona Lewis singing. I don't even remember how old I was. I think I was maybe 11 or something. Man, I just lost. I fucking lost it. I don't know what it was. Something about the trailer just got me hyped. It was the international trailer. If you want to see it, you just type in Final Fantasy 13 international trailer. And it just got me so hyped when I saw it on the Xbox Marketplace or whatever, wherever I downloaded it from. And I was like, I'm getting this game. And by the way, I hated turn-based. I knew I'd suck. I knew I'd struggle. And I did it anyway. I was just like, whatever. I've got to do it. I swear to God. I don't know what to say because we all saw how people reacted to that game. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I got stuck somewhere. I think it was at the part where you go to Hope, like you meet his dad, and then you have to fight like the ship. And I got stuck there, and then I asked someone at school, "How do you beat it?" And it's like, "Yeah, just attack the side cannons or something like that." And I was like, "Oh," and then I beat it. But yeah, I always struggled with turn-based games, and but anyway, Final Fantasy 13 has quite a lot of references to things. Final Fantasy in general does, with the summons, like Odin, even other mythologies as well, like with Shiva, and stuff like that. So there's a lot of references to a lot of mythological stuff in Square properties in general, which is quite cool, especially for people who know more about it, which I do not. But if you do, it's always interesting seeing how people tie that stuff in. Kid Q says Kingdom Hearts 4 will pave the way for a live-action film of Kingdom Hearts. Oh, do we want that though? Do we really want that? I don't know. Do you guys want that? I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. I don't know, man. Like live-action video game adaptations. I think we know how that historically tends to play out. And I'm not sure it's something I'm really eager to see happen to King. And already, I mean, hold on a minute. Like I was just saying. Oh, sorry, Straxo. Can you be quiet for a second? Like people are already mad about this. People are mad about this. You think they want to see live action? Bruh, they're going to lose their minds. I'll tell you what, look, if it's well made, I don't really care. But I'm not going to lie. They'd have to really convince me like that it's going to be good. Like I said, I thought that was 5. Yeah, a lot of people, if you're talking about the engine, a lot of people thought that. It's not. It's Unreal Engine 4. They confirmed it in, I think it was the Q&A. One of the things related to the 20th anniversary, I think it was the Q&A. They confirmed it's Unreal Engine 4 that it's so this is rendered. All of this you're seeing is rendered in Unreal Engine 4, and then the actual game will be Unreal Engine 5. So I believe the next time we see the game, which I don't believe is going to be this year, because there was also a comment about we're not going to see anything. I think this year, but whenever we see it next year, whatever, it should be Unreal Engine 5. Which is interesting because if you look at how, like I said, if you look at this, it's different from what we're used to. So it'll be interesting to see what Unreal Engine 5 is like how that kind of looks and how it's different. Like will it be even smoother? What new stuff will they do? It also makes me think like, is this gameplay kind of old? You know what I mean? Or what? Because I'm pretty certain they've been working on Kingdom Hearts 4 since basically after Kingdom Hearts 3, which would mean about 3 years, so makes you wonder. But it looks good. I mean, I know some people don't like the artistic direction, but guys, like, I'm sure you know this by now, but this is your proof of the Kingdom shader. Okay, so if you think there's not going to be Kingdom Hearts style, don't worry, it's okay, it's still there. And I'm pretty certain they confirmed that the only reason Sora looks like that is because he's in Quadratum, so that's the only reason, which is interesting because in the original secret ending he doesn't look like that, but that's because the secret ending was probably more of a concept thing in terms of the look. I don't know. Mara Might Die says basically Balder of Norse myth dies, and to rescue him from the realm of death, his best friend and brother Hermod travels to Helheim to speak with Hel, the ruler of it. Hel from Norse myth is actually a really nice woman. Yeah, well, I watched Thor Ragnarok literally yesterday. She wasn't very nice there. That's all I'm going to say. It's funny that you're talking about it because I literally was watching it yesterday. Actually, a really nice woman who treats Boulder to constant dinners and even lets him stay in a room of her home free of charge. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I hope Sora is able to stay free of charge. Let's look at his room. Where's his room? Look at this. Look at him. Look at him. He's just waking up. He's just like, oh, what's this sofa? Woof, that's comfy. Hey, so I've been thinking lately about this. So I wondered why Naminé looks so different compared to Kairi, and I may have a solution as to why. Okay, I'm willing to hear it. Tyler says, yes, it was Leona Lewis. Yeah, I thought so. The darkness entities are starting to feel like the Asians from Final Fantasy 14. Should Death check out those black cloaks? I don't know anything about Final Fantasy 14 whatsoever, which is a shame because I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. But yeah, I don't know about Final Fantasy 14 very much, so I'm not sure how that relates. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do look similar to something in Final Fantasy, to be honest. Finn Wolfhard as Sora. Damn, you guys are coming with some references. See, I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready. I thought I knew some stuff. You guys are coming with these references. I'm like, huh? Okay, Bayak said, so basically it's weird how Roxas looks different because Ventus was inside of Sora, right? So as of Kairi, I believe someone else was inside of her. Oh, are you referring to, so you're talking about Naminé, are you referring to Naminé's blonde hair? Is that what you're talking about? Because a running theory with that has always just been that it's basically because of Ventus being part of Sora's heart and blah blah blah. Like that's basically always been the running theory going with that. It's the same way like how with Shion as well, people are like, why does she have black hair? Which the official answer for that is that basically one of the writers for the Kingdom Hearts novels wanted a character with black hair. That's literally what the official answer is for it. Obviously it can be retconned and changed so that there's a different reason, but as of now, that's the reason for it. That's the actual reason. But yeah, if you guys have got any other comments, let me know. So I will share with you guys a theory of mine that I have at the moment. So one of the theories I have, and I'm gonna try to not go too deep into it, just so that like it's something I can talk about in the video. But I've been kind of trying to think about, I was saying earlier, like Versus 13, Stellar, Strelitzia, Nameless Star. And the reason why I've been thinking about that is because I was looking at some Versus 13 stuff, right? And I just started thinking about Stellar again. And I just saw some parallels that I found really interesting. And the parallel that I saw this time that I found really interesting was Strelitzia. Strelitzia is like Stellar from Versus 13. Like, I'm not saying she is Stellar from Versus 13, but like in terms of, hold on, let me just pause on her face real quick. But in terms of like her character, she is very much like Stellar. I'm not talking about Luna Freya. I'm specifically talking about Stellar here. Okay. And the reason why I say that is for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is because Stellar, I guess you could talk about Luna Freya if you played 15, but Stellar has got a brother. A brother is, Ravus. And Ravus, he's not exactly on your side, right? So Strelitzia has a brother. Her brother is, we first meet him as Marluxia. Of course, we know he's originally called Laurium, but when we first meet him, he's not on your side, right? And it's not that like that thing by itself just sounds a little bit like whatever. But when you start looking at Stellar and how she's kind of connected to Noctis and how she was supposed to also be part of his dreams and how there was something going on with her fate, like her dying. And it's like, I don't want to, it's like, it's hard for me to talk about because I kind of don't want to say too much, but at the same time, like if you've played 15, maybe you're going to understand what I'm talking about. If you know a bit about Stella from Versus, maybe you'll see what I'm talking about here. But it's really like kind of odd how similar they are. They're more similar than you'd think. And I started thinking about that quite a lot because I thought that's interesting, you know, because if you remember back in the early days of like theories about the Nameless Star, there was always the belief that Streletsia was the Nameless Star. That was like the popular theory. Now, many people say, okay, she's her own character from Viren Rex and she's basically Stella, right? So I just find that very interesting because even though it's very unlikely Streletsia is the Nameless Star, there is some weirdly odd parallels and similarities between her and Stella, especially when you start to look at like again death, dreams, her role in Kingdom Hearts so far. There's a specific thing I'm going to say. So basically, in some information that's out there about Versus 13, again, take it with a grain of salt because we never got the game, but supposedly Stella was meant to be dead before the game began, right? Now, the reason why that's really interesting is because Union Cross is the game where we meet Streletsia, and if you think about it, technically she's dead before the game begins. So I don't know. I mean, there's other things. I'm kind of just throwing out little things here because I don't want to ruin it. It's something I want to discuss in the video, but I'm putting it out there for you guys to think about because I think it's kind of interesting. Like I never really noticed those connections until I was looking over certain things, and I was like, huh, these two were actually quite similar, like a bit more than you might, you know, you might have thought. Hold on, I'm just looking at something. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's really interesting how that kind of works and how that plays out. I was looking for a video I was going to put up, but hold on, let me see if I can find some. Where's my Versus 13? Where is it? You know, funny enough, since I'm talking about Stella, hold on. If any of you that this is a funny thing. It's funny how people do mods and stuff for 15. I saw this and I just thought it was cool, so I'm just gonna throw it up. It's only a mod for 15, but I liked it. So okay, Bayek says yes, blonde hair, but for Shion, she is a puppet, so she was handmade to have black hair. But I think Ava is the potential most likely candidate because all Ava, Kairi, and Namine's names tied to the ocean. Okay, Ava, Kairi, and Namine's names tied. Does Ava's name tied to the ocean? Does it? I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't, but I wasn't aware if it does. Yeah, Goofy is the master of masters. Look. I'm going to tell you like this. If that turns out to be the case, well, that will be the greatest plot twist in Kingdom Hearts history. And also it will be the best storyline because Goofy being the master of masters is, of course, the best decision they could ever make. And if they don't do that, I think there is a problem. I actually do think there's a problem if Goofy does not become the master of masters. Like, to be truthfully honest, I actually think there'd be an issue. But yeah, if you guys have got any other theories, look at this. She looks weird. Hold on, let me go back. She looks weird because obviously it's a mod. But for those of you who don't know, that's supposed to be Stella. This looks so weird. I just thought it was funny. Like, I don't know. Sometimes the things people do with mods, it's just like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? And no, hold on. You guys have got we got to get this that Somnus. Hold on. This is criminal. How have I not got audio? Don't cry like this. It's okay. It's about to kick in. It's going to kick in. God, Stella, so close yet so far. Right in the Versus 13. Damn, it hurts. You know, it's funny. I was reading like old forum posts from like 5 years ago, and people like, all of you people simping over a character that never existed. And I'm just like, wow, how dare you? I don't know, it says, I think there's a lot of connection plot-wise between FF8 and Kingdom Hearts as well. I have not played Final Fantasy 8. I need to. I actually want to go through playing all the Final Fantasy games that I want to play that I haven't, like FF4, FF6, FF8, FF9. And yeah, those are I think the main ones. I haven't played that I want to play. If I'm missing one that you think I should play, let me know. I've played 12, I've played 13, I've played 15, 7. Is there any others I have to play that I didn't list? Like, really? I'm not interested in playing like 3 or 2. You know, unless someone's gonna tell me that they're secretly truly amazing, but not from what I've heard. Yeah, sorry, I was in the middle of reading this. I think there's a lot of connection plot-wise between FF8 and Kingdom Hearts as well. In general, Kingdom Hearts sort of has touched on a lot of Final Fantasy story beats and concepts in one way or another. So, okay, so here's my thing about the Final Fantasy story thing, right? So, in terms of like story beats and stuff, I mean, I don't know if that's really. I'm not gonna say it's not Final Fantasy, because to be fair, I just listed a bunch I haven't played, including the one you just said. So what do I know? But to be honest, like some story beats are just kind of a bit more universal. So sometimes I think the crossover happens naturally because it's like, yeah, you know, it's and also similar storytelling styles sometimes. Like it's like how, for example, a lot of JRPGs tend to have similar kinds of like structures or ideas of who the antagonist is, or like, oh, let's fight fate, or let's defy the gods, or whatever, you know, like let's break the cycle. Like there tends to be that type of stuff across a lot of the games. So to be honest, there's like a lot of that kind of stuff just in general. Oh, my friend is here on the live stream. I did not notice he's in the back, but hold on. Did not notice he's in the back. Gonna bring him on. Just so you guys know, my friend's gonna come to the live stream. He's just hanging out with me because it's my birthday. But just so you know, he doesn't know anything about Kingdom Hearts, but he still supports. You know, he still you know supports. He doesn't know anything about it though. So but yeah, he's just here to hang out with me for the time being. Let me bring him on. What's good, man? It's good. I don't know if your mic's on or not. Yes, Arva's name ties to the ocean, but here's another kicker. Arva has a role to keep light from expiring, and guess what? In Kingdom Hearts 3, Kairi had the same role at the Keyblade. I agree. I completely agree with you. I agree with you. So let me try and go back over what it is you're saying, because I do agree with what you just said there. So let me try and tie this together. So you've been thinking about how Naminé looks different. Whoa. Hold on. I had to mute your mic. Your mic is messed up. People about to jump out the stream like, yo, what the heck? I'm out of here. I don't know what happened with your audio, but you have to fix that. But yeah, so Naminé said, yeah, looks different compared to Kairi, and I may have a solution as to why. You're saying that she looks different because you believe someone else was inside. Oh, so are you saying that you think Arva is... So she is a puppet, so she was handmade to have black hair, but I think Arva is the potential most likely candidate. So are you saying you think Naminé has blonde hair because of Arva? Is that what you're saying? So are you saying Arva is part of Kairi's heart, and because of that, Naminé got the blonde hair from her, similar to how Roxas has the blonde hair from Ventus? Is that what you're... Yeah, I'm just trying to put it together and make sense of it. Let me know if that's what it is that you're saying, so I'm not misinterpreting it. What are your thoughts on Sora being the Master of Masters? Historically, I hated it. I never liked it. I thought it was a terrible idea. But I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen some people kind of put it together in a way where I'm like, it wouldn't be so bad. Like there's a case. There's not a case for it like that, in my opinion. But in terms of story, I could see it. I could see it working. I could see it being kind of cool. Whoa! I just realized we just got Noctis just like kind of like semi-planking on the ground here on the train. Don't know. That's a bit awkward. But let's get let's get something else. Let's get something else. Let's get something else. Let's not have Noctis there like that. I'm gonna throw up random things. I mean, not too random. It'll probably be something like Final Fantasy. Oh, I know what we can go for because I've got a. Hold on. Let's. Where is it? Oh God, no! Let's not put up Drakengard. We don't want to see that. You don't want to see Drakengard. You do not want to see that at all. You know what? I'm going to just randomly put Valkyrie Elysium because why not? Like, why not? Most of you don't know anything about Valkyries. We've got a whole lot of Norse chat going on. So we're going to talk about Norse. Hey, let's put something from Norse up here. But yeah, in terms of Sword being the Master of Masters, I don't hate it. I don't hate it, but I think it could be cool. I think it can work in like story wise. I think it could be interesting. It's just I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have anything against it anymore. I used to, but I don't really anymore. It's more just I kind of don't know if that's really going to happen. But personally, like I don't have any. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent towards it. I guess that's the best way to describe my feelings now. Like I used to be against it, but now I'm actually kind of indifferent. Like if it happened, I wouldn't be mad. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna throw my controller across the room if I see Sora's face. So yeah, I'm kind of cool with it. I'm kind of cool with it, to be honest with you. Hold on. So happy birthday! Really enjoyed your recent influx of vids, by the way. Thank you, Seven Hearts. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been trying to make the content I've been making lately, you know, like a bit smoother, a bit better than the stuff I was making before. Not to say my previous content was bad, but I'm trying to make it, I don't know, just a bit more engaging as much as I can and kind of communicate my ideas as clearly as possible, as well as, look at that. You guys have no idea. You guys have no idea what that logo means to me. Like, you just don't know. Unless you're a Valkyrie fan, in which case you do know. But if you're not, then you don't know. It's just like, look at it. I know you guys are just thinking, what is this? This isn't Kingdom Hearts. Get this out of here. No, we've got to appreciate it. Definitely look into the Valkyrie games. Like, to be honest, that they are old. You know, I don't expect you guys to really care for them like that, but they're interesting. And the first game, Valkyrie Profile, the first Valkyrie Profile game has got one of the best stories, I believe, in like just in terms of heart-wrenching. And you guys like Kingdom Hearts, so I know you like a heart-wrenching narrative. And trust me, Valkyrie Profile, the original Valkyrie Profile's got all of that. I mean, it might be some sprites and it may not look too fancy by modern standards, but you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, I appreciate that again, Seven Hearts. Thank you. Which leads me to saying this: Naminé's actual appearance could actually be Arva's face the entire time. This was something I was going to post on my community tab, but I guess I can just ask you guys here anyway. Do you guys think we're going to see the foretellers' faces in Kingdom Hearts 4? Do you think we're finally going to see them unmasked? Are they going to take the masks off and are they going to show themselves? Do you think it's going to happen? Let me know what you guys think. Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, finally.
What's good, man? Yeah. Your microphone. When you first started talking, it was just like, brr. I was just like, bruh.
I was having all kinds of issues trying to set up my microphone, but it's all sorted now.
Yeah, man.
The level's alright.
Yeah.
I don't need to turn it up or down or anything.
On my end, you're fine, but the chat can let me know. If any of you guys can't hear my friend, his name's Litness. That's what he calls himself, Litness. I'll let you decide whether he's lit or not, but that's what he calls himself. Okay? I didn't pick his name, but let me know if you guys can hear him fine. His voice is a bit deeper than mine, so you know, bear that in mind. But yeah, anyway, Litness, since you're here, what's your opinion on Kingdom Hearts as someone who's not really like, you didn't grow up with it, you're not into the series? Let the people know, like, what's your, as an outsider, I'm actually genuinely curious because I've not really asked you before, so I'm actually genuinely curious. Like, what is your kind of, you know, your view on it.
So I've always been somewhat interested because I've always seen, obviously, like Mickey Mouse and all these random characters just all put together in one game. And I'm like, how is this little like child's character, like children's cartoon, like tied into like a grander narrative that appeals to obviously like people, like older people, obviously like we're in our mid-20s. So I'm like, obviously
Well, that's the thing.
To it.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of us got into it as kids, and some people disagreed with me on this, but personally, I'm of the belief that if you was to try and get into Kingdom Hearts now as an adult, especially with how far along the series is, I feel like you're like, unless you're just really committed to it, like for some reason you just badly want to know the whole story, I think you'll kind of struggle. Okay, Seven Hearts in the chat says that you could be a bit you could be a bit louder, so maybe put your mic up a bit louder, not too loud, but you know, maybe just a bit louder. But Bike says yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Okay, yeah, I think that could work in terms of your theory. I think that could work, man. Like, I could see it. It's funny because there's different theories regarding Ava. There's a lot of people who say Ava's part of Kyrie's heart. Obviously, I have my belief that I think she could be like Kyrie's grandmother, which at the time when I made that theory, I know it was kind of like a joke or like a meme, like Kyrie's grandma is Kyrie, like. But I mean, she's Ava. But hey, look, I went and looked up Ava's name, and then it literally translates to grandmother. Like it translates to grandmother. I didn't make that up. You know what I mean? And I'm just thinking, that's like way too. Is that really coincidental? Like, I don't know. I mean, people read into every other name in the series, so I don't think it's too much of a stretch to do it. In her case, you know what I mean? And actually, I even had the theory that the story of Key, like Union Cross, that entire time period, I even had a theory that the only reason why Nomura wanted to tell that story is because he wanted to tell the story of Kyrie's grandmother. That's actually what I'm thinking when he was sitting there. Because if you read the Kingdom Hearts 1 Ultimania, he claimed that the story that Kyrie's grandmother says in Kingdom Hearts 1, in the Kingdom Hearts 1 Ultimania, he says that story is not very important to the series, like, or to the overall story. That's what he said back then. But obviously we know how, I mean, look at this girl. If it wasn't important, then what's this all about, you know? That's the reason why you've got a whole portion of people right now who are confused as hell. Like, who is this girl? Who is she? I don't know who she is. You know, because they don't know about that time. So yes, it's very important. But I kind of think he wanted to tell the story of, you know, like Kyrie, like basically that story of that Kyrie's grandmother was telling. He's like, let's expand on this. But I also think he wanted to expand on how does she tie into it, and that's why I'm thinking, like, is it really a coincidence that the specific foreteller who is so blatantly similar to Kyrie, even down to the fact she likes flowers and stuff like that? Like, there's a scene in the movie in back cover where she kneels down by flowers. It's the most random scene ever. It's literally nothing else except her kneeling down by flowers, and then it has a transition where it zooms into her mask. So other than having a cool transition, what the heck is the purpose of that scene? But it shows you that she's got like this thing with flowers, and we know when we see Kyrie's grandmother, if I'm not mistaken, like Kyrie's holding some flowers or whatever. Then you've got the whole dandelion thing. I don't know. There's too much. And again, her name translates to grandmother. I don't know, man. Too much stuff. It's too much stuff. So I'm not gonna lie, it seems a bit weird imagining Kyrie's grandmother being that important when you kind of look at her character model, because I don't know why, like, just her character model looks a bit, it looks a bit dry. It's like, is she really important? But I don't know. I think she could be. I don't 100% believe it yet, but it's interesting nonetheless. Sora, Master of Masters Theory. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, and it's definitely popular amongst a fair number of the community. Like, I think a lot of people want to see Sora go evil. There's always been these theories about Dark Sora, or Sora's evil, or he's gonna go bad, and I feel like the opportunity for that was in Dream Drop Distance, and it didn't happen. So it's kind of like, why? We already saw it almost happened, but it didn't happen. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, are you gonna really try and bait us with the same thing? Sora being a Master of Masters isn't the same as that. But what I mean is the theories about Sora becoming evil. Like, you know, there's always people like, oh, you know, I think that you know, something's gonna happen with him and he's gonna go bad. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know about that. You know, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I feel like if he was gonna go dark, they could have just done it back when he was supposed to be the vessel in Dream Drop Distance, right? Like, they could have just done it then, and then Kingdom Hearts 3 or whatever could have been about trying to rescue Sora and get him back, or I don't know, something like that. But you know, it's like Aqua. Like, we've had anti-Aqua already. I don't think they're gonna do that again. It doesn't really seem necessary. I think we'll meet them unmasked and not know it until the end. Oh, that would be very interesting. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. That would be cool. Like, especially if that'd be really cool. Like, if they were just some I don't know. I feel like it'd be obvious though. Like, it'd be kind of like you just randomly see these people. You know what I mean? It's like, how many of them are there? Sort of 1, 2, 3. Where are these 5 people all of a sudden come? That if that was done in a really smart, clever way, I think that would be really cool. If it wasn't something where we could easily just spot it, like by the time you meet like one of like the second person, like you meet Gula or something, you're like, oh my god, that's just blatantly Gula. Like, look at him, it's so obvious. But yeah, Critic Perfect says, just want to say happy birthday, man. Hope you're having the best day in the world ever. I don't know about that, but love all your theories and the depth they go into, man. Really, really, really appreciate the hard work. Thank you. I appreciate that. And Critic Perfect, whilst I ain't always you know, I'm not like an expert on the modding scene. I know that you put in work over there, so I have to say I appreciate you as well for all the stuff you do with all the mods and all the modding community. You know what I mean? Because you guys put a lot of effort into the stuff you do, and you make these games even more enhanced and even better than, you know, for those of us who played the vanilla versions and, you know, a dozen times and we're like, I want something new. So I appreciate all of you that contribute in that specific scene as well. So thank you as well. Adonai said it's a solid maybe. In any case, the masks have this pagan Wicker Man feeling about them. I love them. Yeah, I love them too. I love them too. I love them too. Oh, I already read this. That makes a lot of sense. Damn, I forgot what I said that made a lot of sense. I'm assuming it was in relation to your theory though. But yeah. So, Linus, I want to ask you. I'm going to come back to these chats in just a moment, but I wanted to ask you about what is there anything in gaming right now in particular that stands out to you? Because I know, like, you know, back in the day you was like more into gaming and stuff than now. But is there anything in particular that stands out to you? Like, it could be any genre, whatever, any game. But is there anything like lately that you've been kind of like really thinking, yeah, that's some fun?
Not really, to be honest. I think the main thing for me is like in the gaming space is like the possibilities of Unreal Engine 5. That's the thing that's most excited for me in the gaming world, to be honest. But like in particular games, like there's not really been anything that's been too
okay. No, let's speak on that. See, I mean, let's speak on that. That is still relevant. Like, what about Unreal Engine 5 in particular has kind of caught your interest?
For me, honestly, because I make videos and all that stuff. I'm into making like music videos and everything. So for me, Unreal Engine 5, I've seen the possibility of like creating videos using like the vast amount of like models and pre done stuff people have put up online for free.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of. I mean, I'm not an expert on like video game engines or just any of that stuff in general, but obviously, like, there is a lot of people who are quite excited about it, and I know that they do their best to try and make these things accessible for the people who use them. I bloody well can't use it. I mean, but for the people who can, I know they do their best with it, and it's interesting to see how like engines develop over time, and something like Unreal in particular, like it's cool how many different games are made in it, yet they look so different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's quite interesting how they're made in the same engine, but you can make things that just look vastly different, to the point where I guess unless you were maybe like really like an expert or really into this stuff, you probably wouldn't even be able to tell sometimes what games are made in the same engines. You know what I mean? Depending on it. So particularly with something like Unreal, like at least I mean I definitely can't tell sometimes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an amateur, which I am, but you know I can't tell. I mean even between look like this footage here, most of us couldn't even tell this was Unreal Engine 4. You know,
Yeah.
so people were like, "Oh, is this Unreal Engine 5?" Like we're looking at all this stuff, we're like, "Wow, this looks so fresh," but we're like, "No, this is the same engine Kingdom Hearts 3 was made of." You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
damn, okay. What's the Unreal Engine 5 gonna look like then? You know what I mean? Like that would be
I've seen some stuff. It looks so close to like life. Like
yeah, like hold on. In terms of this, because the footage here, if I go back. Wait, it's not back, it's forward. No, it is back. What am I talking about? Where's the forest? Like this stuff. Look at the detail. And this isn't 5. Again, this isn't 5. This is 4. This is 4. This look at this is 4. I'm not saying that it's like Unreal Engine 4 games don't look good, but I mean, goddamn, like you're talking about like life like a realistic. I mean, let's just run this for a bit. Like, look at that. Like, no, I'm sorry. Like, that's you know, one thing I know a lot of people always talk about is in games is like to do with water and stuff, and the detail that there is in water. I mean, I don't know, but to me, that water is looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Again, obviously, like this isn't us
with
playing.
like the ray tracing. It's allowing so much more realistic things because you actually see the reflections in the waters and ripples and stuff.
Right. Yeah, it's cool, man, to see how things is evolving on that front, like to do with the tech and stuff. Like it's just really cool. I'm trying to see this. It's funny. I feel like a lot of it requires very little research, but we make it more complicated. Perhaps because of the way it is told, splitting parts and moving between past and present. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, you know, it's interesting because I'm glad that with the 20th anniversary, Nomura just answered a bunch of questions, and I'm glad that he was really thorough with quite a lot of things, and he answered a lot of things. And there was also the people who were asking questions in the Q&A asked some good questions as well, like to do with how Kairi got that Keyblade at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, and where did that come from? Like, where did Riku get it from? And then Nomura's like, yes, we have an answer for that. It's like, do you, Nomura? Really? Now? Of all times? Like, how? I'm trying to figure out how's that going to be. Like, where's he going to slot that in? Where does that become relevant in the next game? Like, like, at what point does that become relevant? I'm going to take him at his word, and that we'll find out. But I'm just thinking, like, even a little detail like that, like, where does that? It could literally just be handled with one line. Like, literally, Yen Sid could say something like, "Oh, Riku, this is like, you know, how you got such and such the Keyblade for Kairi and blah blah blah." I don't know, but it could be handled with one line. You know, it doesn't have to be a big thing. But I just think it's funny some of the things that are, some of the details that kind of are supposed to be addressed. What I mean is, if you play them in order, everything kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Yes, yeah. It does make quite a lot of sense, and it's also interesting when you look back at old theories and ideas about older Kingdom Hearts games, and then you look at what people are saying or talking about now, and it's very interesting. It's very interesting, like just some of the ideas people had back in the day compared to what actually ended up happening. You know what I mean? Especially with Kingdom Hearts 3. But to be honest, Kingdom Hearts 3, I've said it before, I feel like that was the most predictable Kingdom Hearts game because there were certain things it had to do. It wasn't a bridge game. It wasn't no spin-off. Like it had to complete the Xehanort saga. Like it had to. So that means Xehanort either wins or he loses. It has to happen here, right? And it's like, let's be honest, he's probably going to lose. So that's a done deal. Whereas when you got a game like Dream Drop Distance, we don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Because we don't know. We don't really know what that's even about. So like all the games that were kind of before Kingdom Hearts 3, I think the speculation around them would be quite wild because it's like for example, you didn't know who young Xehanort was, or even that there was a young Xehanort. By the time you get to Kingdom Hearts 3, you know young Xehanort's going to be in there. You already know. You know Vanitas is coming back, right? Come on, even Marluxia, like and stuff like that, it's kind of like, yeah, they're probably coming back. Like, but the games before that was where I feel like, and that's what is really interesting about this next phase. I feel like it's just like before Kingdom Hearts. Like it's like we're back in that space of pure and utter what is going on. And you know, like it's like there's no way anyone can just sit there and say this is definitely what's. I mean, some people do that, but in reality, you just no one knows. You know what I mean? No one knows. Even the people whose theories turn out to be correct, it's like in reality you don't really know. You know what I mean? But you make some good guesses. You know, I'm a believer in a fallen Sora arc at some point. It's been foreshadowed since the first game with Riku making Sora's shadow attack. Sora's darkness, both literal and lightness, has been reoccurring. It's just like, I guess it's like I'm trying to see what the value in Sora being dark is outside of him being the Master of Masters, because even with the Master of Masters, he's technically not dark. Let me put this video back a bit. Even with him being the Master of Masters, he's technically not a dark person necessarily. Like, I mean, I don't know. We don't really know, but we can assume he's probably in his mind got the right intentions. I don't know, but it's I don't know. I'm trying to understand what really would be the point. Like, he's been not bad for so long that if he goes bad, it's like, what then happens next? Is it like, oh, we gotta save him from the darkness? And okay, in terms, like, I mean, maybe if Kyrie or Riku has to bring it, I could kind of see it. Maybe I could kind of. I'm just trying to fit it into like how it plays out in the story, like how it fits in. But I can kind of see it when I think about it. I can kind of see it. Agreed on the Sora equals Master of Masters stuff. Which side do you think Master of Masters represents in terms of the current state of the Kingdom Hearts universe? Does the fact that he is against darkness make him innately light? It doesn't have to innately make him light, but he already said that when he was younger, he was in a war between the light and the dark, right? And obviously, who knows, he could be lying, but I don't really think he is. And if he was in a war against the darkness and it was between light and darkness, that would mean he's on the side of the light. Also, the Keyblades and all of that stuff that's related to them, that is also related to the light, usually, typically, for the most part. What else? Like the foretellers, you know, they're related to the light, even though I know he's got them set up as like darkness vessels and whatever. There's just a lot of stuff related to the light on his side of things, and I don't know, that seems like the most likely type of thing to be going on with him, that he's on that side. And I think that that's meant to somewhat play into what Xehanort was talking about with the tyranny of the light, so that we can kind of see, oh, what does that look like? Because we didn't really see it. Like, he mentions it, the tyranny of the light, but we don't know what that really means. What does the tyranny of the light look like? Why is he talking about it? Because from what we've seen, there's only been the tyranny of the darkness. You know what I mean? So it's like, where's the tyranny of the light at? I ain't seen it. So I think there's potential to explore that side. Also, it's like, I think the decision to make the willful darknesses kind of instinctive based entities. And what I mean by that is, like, they don't seem to be, you know, they seem to be more like of a hive mind, maybe not a hive mind, but more like they don't have the same sense of individualism, right? I feel like a part of the reason that's being done is so that, because think about what the Guardians are going to be like if they come up against those enemies. You know what I mean? Like, I think a part of the reason why it was done is to kind of make them, I don't want to say sympathetic, but make them a bit more blameless. Like, they're not as, it's not like they're outright like trying to plot and destroy in the same way as someone who has like a will and an intent and an individual kind of personality would be doing. Someone like maybe the Master, right? I think they're being set up as to be a little bit, basically Xehanort. Xehanort is not like the darknesses we see now. He has a personality, he's a person, he made decisions, he has a choice. He's not just following instinct. It's like he decided to do those things. So we can hold him accountable and blame him and say, you did those things, old man. That's your fault. Whereas the darkness is, I don't think you can really hold them to the same type of thing, because it's like, well, if they're just following their instincts, then it's kind of just in their nature. And I think for the protagonists, that will kind of, you know, represent a very interesting, an interesting kind of situation, because their entire journey has been the darkness, destroy it, the darkness. But now it's like, oh, the darkness isn't really you know, it's not. It's especially Sora. If anyone would see the humanity or see the innocence in the darkness, it would be Sora. It would definitely be Sora. Which is another one of the reasons why I feel like him being evil or dark. It's like I don't know. And also because some of the Guardians have a history with darkness themselves, I feel like that could also make them somewhat more understanding of the darkness. So when they come up against the Master of Masters and he's on some tyranny of light type of thing, they're going to be like, no, you know, there should be a balance. Like darkness isn't all bad. Hey, I've got darkness here. Look, Riku will be like, yeah, I've got darkness. Darkness is cool. I walked the path to dawn, like, you know, all that. But anyway, that's that whole tangent over. But that's my thoughts on that anyway. I don't know if that remotely answers what you're asking, but I think it did. Mr. Boomim says, can't stay. Happy birthday, Next Gen. You are the shit. Please keep it up. I appreciate it. And thank you for your comment. Thank you. You did post that a few minutes ago, so you might be gone already. But thank you anyway. Interesting. Happy birthday, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for your comment. I'm not sure how to say your name. You comment a lot on some of my different videos and stuff. So I would like to say your name properly, but I'm gonna butcher it. I'm just gonna call you Kanto if you don't mind, because that seems to be the easier word to say for me. Sriracha?
Yeah, I think so. Sriracha.
Nah, I'm not risking it. I'm not risking it.
Yeah, the sauce in it.
I'll just call you Kanto for now. The Ashen Chevalier. God, I think I'm already butchering it, even though you told me yours. Agreed on the storytelling. Honestly, that is what is so compelling about it for me. It's a really interesting story to me, and I just want to know what is going on. I'm totally invested. Same, man. Same. We're all invested. That's why we're here. That is why we're here. Sorry for bombarding you. Don't apologize. I want you guys to talk. That's the entire purpose of you guys being here. Like, why would I not want you guys to be here sharing your thoughts? That is the entire reason I made this live stream. It was random. I didn't plan it. So for those, I think there's like 15 of you supposedly here at the moment. Thank you guys for being here, because honestly, I don't know. I just did it randomly. I didn't really expect anyone to really come through. So I do genuinely appreciate it. Are you thinking of making a Kingdom Hearts 4 wish list? I don't really do wish list type of videos or anything like that, but I could ask you guys what's your wish list, and maybe that will inspire some ideas for me, because I don't actually have one right now. Like, as of right now, thinking about it, I don't really have one. I will say I'm one of the people that would like to see Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but I do think having Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts would be cool. I am one of those people that when I was younger, I used to always think, man, how cool would it be if, when you saw Xemnas's blades, it's like, oh man, imagine if Sora had like a Keyblade lightsaber. I know it's an old thing people have been saying for years, but I do think it would be really cool. Damn, shout out to the Landy Lodge for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that, bro, man. I really appreciate that. He said, happy birthday, bro. Keep on crushing it. I appreciate that. Look, Landy Lodge, let me tell you something. Hold on. I've got to do what Landy Lodge does. My stream etiquette is terrible. Landy Lodge, when I be going to the chat, he be giving me shout outs. He be dropping my link. So I've got to do the same, because that is just good manners. That is just good stream manners. So you guys in the chat, please check out the Landy Lodge. If you haven't already, and subscribe to him. He makes great content. Like, genuinely, I'm not just saying that. He really does. He makes great Kingdom Hearts theories. He also does podcasts where he talks about Kingdom Hearts, other things as well, like other different series of stuff. But I was even on one of them. But he has some really good stuff, and a lot of his content tends to be, a little focused. He brings up a lot of the mythological stuff. So for those of you who were talking about the Norse mythology and that kind of stuff, he's all into that, man. He's all into that. So if you guys have that type of interest, I definitely would recommend him. And funny thing about that as well, with Landy Lodge, in one of my early videos, I'm gonna actually pull the video up just because it'll just sell what I'm saying more. If I find it, I don't even remember which video it was. What was it called? I have to find the video. Oh wait, it's probably in this Fury's folder I've got. But I gave him a shout out like ages ago, back when I was like first starting to make my theories. And actually, it was before I started to make my theories properly. It was actually before that. And I heard from him the whole theory about the Master of Masters is light, bruh. I was completely sold on it. I was completely sold, and I don't know if Landy Lodge was the first person to say it, but I'm pretty sure his theory is what pushed out a lot of that mode of thought in the community. And I have to say, like, he deserves a lot of the credit because that idea, a lot of people are definitely bought into it. So, hey, man, if you ever wondered who was one of the earliest people saying that, Landy Lodge is one of the people. So, shout out to him for that because, yeah. And it was funny because I uploaded a theory video the same day he uploaded a theory video, and I think his video was about the black box. And I was like, "Yo, man, I just uploaded a video and I gave you a shout out." At that point, it's like nobody watched my content, nobody, like barely anyone. Like I didn't really have an audience yet, so he was cool. We came over and he left me a comment, so I appreciate that. Let me see. Sorry, I've missed some comments, so I'm going to go back up. Thank you for all your answers. You're awesome. Oh, I appreciate you for asking and for suggesting and sharing all of your thoughts because I enjoy that. I genuinely do. And for you guys, just so you know, the thing I like most on YouTube, like you know, you get views, you get comments, you get likes. I have always loved comments the most. I mean, I do enjoy reading, so that's probably part of it, but I just really like seeing what people think about something, you know. Even on like, you know, when people see something, they're like, I'm just here for the comments. I'm one of those people, right? I will go and I'll look at a meme or whatever, and I'll be like, man, I'll go and see what the comments are saying. Like, I love comments. So on my own videos, I love getting comments. I don't care how long they are. I do read all of them. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those YouTubers where it's like I've got so many comments, I can't get through them. So I can get through them and I do read them. And I don't really care whether you agree with me, disagree with what I put out or whatever. But I do appreciate you sharing your perspective, whatever it is, honestly. And I'm not just saying that, I genuinely do. So, yeah. Then I just said, go cook some dinner. I'll have you on in the background. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Ricky says, happy birthday, sir. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you very much. Have you heard about the parallels between... You know, it's funny. I say thank you. My birthday actually ended 10 minutes ago, guys. Does that mean the live stream has to end now? Of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. You thought I was really... You really thought I was going to cut it off because my birthday ended at midnight? You really trusted me? You should not trust me. Don't trust me on anything. Definitely don't trust my theories. They're probably... Half of them are probably wrong. Have you heard about the parallels between the Master of Masters and Arden from Final Fantasy 15? Someone commented down one of my videos the other day. I don't think it was you, but someone else did comment that exact same thing, bringing up like the parallels between Master of Masters and Arden. And I said to the person who said that, I told them, "Whoa, what's this black screen I've got going on? Oh, that's not entertaining." I said to that person, I was like, "Yeah, like as I was looking over like the 15 stuff, the Final Fantasy 15 stuff, I saw." Like I was just seeing it all over the place. I was seeing it all over the place. Like and it was actually kind of hard to not view it like that. It was actually difficult to not see it as. It was kind of it was just difficult to not see it like with the parallels. I don't know how far it'll go. I don't know. I'm not trying to say the Master of Masters is going to pull back the hood and then Arden, you know, is going to be there and he's just going to be like, oh yes, yeah, you know. what was I don't even want to say like certain things just in case it might spoil it for people, but. I'm not even gonna talk about Arden too much, but yeah, I don't know how far that goes, but I do see the parallels anyway, especially with a little bit of that kind of eccentricness that they've got going on for sure. So, and also some of the stuff related to the light, and I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, I definitely see it. I was trying to find a video, and now I cannot for the life of me find it. This is why I need to label my videos properly because things just go missing, and that's not good. That is not good. Let me read through some more of these comments. Daniel said, "Thank you, dude. What's up, everyone?" Yeah, Landy is really good. Guy is a really good guy. Honestly, I'm glad I personally met him. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. All of you guys that are over in like, I'm guessing I think you're all over in America and stuff. Yeah, like. It must be really nice. Like, I mean, obviously, I guess you could, in theory, like, you know, travel on a plane and go to another country, but I don't know. That sounds a little bit. A little bit too much. You know, I'm not sure I'm ready to travel to do what to do country traversal just yet. I'm not sure I'm ready to get in the gummy ship and go to America. You know, I'm not sure about that. Seven Art says loved watching Landy go through Neo 2 as well. It was a fun ride. I've never played The World Ends With You. I've never played it, and to be honest with you, the first The World Ends With You, I never liked the look of it. I'm sorry, please don't hate me, but I didn't. Yeah, I kind of was just like, yeah, it's a bit whatever. I hope my connection's fine because this thing's telling me that it's a little bit like rough. Hopefully, it's just
The video is a bit choppy, but the audio is fine. I think.
Oh man, that's not good. We don't want choppy video. We don't want that. We don't want that. We need to sort out. We're not having the choppy video. Why is it even choppy anymore? We don't need that. But is the audio fine? I mean, I don't know. We've seen the video 1,000 times, but I want to try and fix that. But yeah, The World Ends With You for me is just. I mean, Neo 2 looked good. Neo The World Ends With You looked good, but I haven't gotten around to actually playing that. I need to stop looping this same gameplay. I'm sorry, guys. It's just this seems like the most relevant thing to have on the screen, even though I put other things up there. But what was we talking about? We was talking about Final Fantasy, wasn't we? So let's get some more Final Fantasy up in here. You know, let's go old school. Let's go old school. Let's take it back. Let's take it back to the Viren Rex days.
Oh yeah, I sent you a little something. Next one.
Really?
Yeah, fine.
Oh, okay. But yeah, let's oh god. Okay, video looks better now. That's good. But it says, yeah, me and Landy met at Kingdom Hearts 2 event. Ever since then, it opened a lot of doors for me as a creator and building friendships. Okay, yeah, that's really cool, man. That's cool, man. Like, I've never really thought much about what it'd be like as a creator to go to events and to meet people. Like, I mean, to be honest, like a lot of the time, if I'm honest with you, my approach to a lot of this stuff is I just make content, I drop it, and then I just keep it moving. That's my approach. Like, basically, I mean, if you guys use Twitter, you know that I don't use Twitter, right? Not really. I mean, during the anniversary event, I was kind of on there because, you know, there's a lot of information there, and I was looking at some stuff, and I was kind of like interested in just seeing like the Q&A things, and I kind of replied to a couple things. But other than that, like, I don't swear, like, honest to God, I really don't be on there. Like, it's not even, like, I'm just genuinely not really on there. And I've always been like that. That's not a recent thing. I've always been like that. But yeah, it's just, yeah. But even so, in terms of like creators in general, I would definitely like to talk with more creators, I suppose. It would be interesting doing stuff like that. Like, I've seen videos and seen people meet up and stuff, and yeah, it seems interesting. And I'm not really sure in terms of like here in the UK, people don't really get to have as many events of those types of things. Like, usually there's going to be some type of event like that. Usually it's going to be over in the States or something. So yeah, it's not something that we get as often. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's pretty cool anyway. Look at this. I love this. I'm sorry. I'm such a versus 13 simp. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's terrible. It's terrible. But look. Just. I'm sorry, guys. I know some of you are probably sick of the stellar simping that's out here, but it is what it is. Shout out to the Ashen Chevalier. I really hope I'm pronouncing your name right, because yeah, shout out to Ashen. I really hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. Happy birthday. Wanted to drop some since you answered so many questions. Thank you and bless you. Also, please play Final Fantasy 9. It is amazing. I will definitely. It is actually, yeah, it's one of the ones I want to play. So yeah, it's definitely already in the on the list. It's definitely on the list because I do want to play a bunch of those ones. That's one I've heard is good. 8 I've heard is good. 6 I've heard very, very good things about 6. And I've even heard good things about 4. So those are the main ones I really want to get into. I haven't finished 10 2. I do need to finish that as well. But I did finish 10 and I thought 10 was quite interesting. So but yeah, I appreciate that. I really do. You guys don't have to send me super chats or whatever, but I do appreciate it very much. And also shout out to you as well because I see it's £5. So you're in the UK and you're up at midnight. You don't even have to be here right now at this time. So I appreciate that. I really do. You know, it's always nice. It's always nice to see you know, fellow Brits here and there wherever they pop up. But yeah, I think in terms of theories and stuff, anyway, there was other things I wanted to share, but I'm in two minds about it because it's like, should I just save some of it for videos, or I'm gonna look over my list that I've got and see if there's anything on here that I feel like I can talk about without. Oh no, I'm not gonna say anything about that. I'm not gonna say anything about that. I'm not gonna say anything about that. I was gonna try to come up with a theory about the realm of darkness, but honestly, like I'm not really sure what to say about it. Like I was gonna try and make up something to, not make up something. That sounds terrible. I was gonna try to talk a bit about how the darkness entities relate to the realm of darkness, because I don't feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't really feel like anyone talks about that. I mean, we've got a whole realm of darkness, and there are entities of darkness, and it's like, how do they connect to that place? The only reason why I'm a bit iffy about it is because there's not really any information, and I don't really have any solid ideas on it, if I'm honest. But I did think it'd be cool. And honestly, I'm just going to be honest. If you're a content creator and you're watching this or listening to this, and you're like, "Oh, that would be interesting," I take the idea. Because in all honesty, I don't think I'm going to do it. I've got like a few other theories I want to do. So honestly, if you got something, run with it. Because I don't think I'll even necessarily cover it, to be truthfully honest with you. So if anyone has any ideas and they want to do something, you want to write up a post about it, whatever, go ahead. And hey, feel free to send it to me, man. Feel free to let me know about it, because I do feel like there's something interesting going on there. It's just I can't really, I don't know, like I can't really piece it together in a way that fits for a video. You know what I mean? And also something else that I was thinking about is like where Cloud is from in Kingdom Hearts. Like in terms, like in relation to Kingdom Hearts, like where is he from? Because apparently he's not from the same place as like some of the other characters. Like I don't think he's from Radiant Garden, right? Because when he disappears with Sephiroth, they're like, do you think they made it back to their world or blah blah blah? So it's like, okay, so their world isn't Radiant Garden. It's probably not Twilight Town. What's the other one? It's probably not Destiny Islands, right? So where is it? Obviously, it's somewhere we've got seen. And then you've got people like, oh, I think it's Quadrado. Okay, it could be. I think of all the Final Fantasy characters that could be over there, I think it could be him. I think him and Sephiroth could be from there. But there was something that was kind of interesting that I kind of was looking at, which is that he's kind of, you know, Cloud has a little thing going on with himself in FF7 remake and stuff like that. Trust, I only stayed up because I saw your notifications. Well, I appreciate that. That's very flattering. It's very flattering. I wasn't gonna go live. It was a last minute thing. So, like I keep saying, I do appreciate anyone that's here, because honestly, it wasn't planned. It's also a weekday. You know how it is. It's like, you know, go get them early nights. You know what I mean? People got school, they got work. You know, some of you got kids. God damn, some of you are really out here. You living life. Eric says, enjoy all the sweets. I will. I'm not sure what sweets you're referring to, but I'm going to enjoy them anyway, because I do like sweets, so I will enjoy them. I think he's just from Radiant Garden. Like, I know you probably wrote that before I said what I said, but I don't know. I don't think he is, because that doesn't really fit in line with what was said, because in the scene where him and Sephiroth disappear, they're in Hollow Bastion, which is basically Radiant Garden, and they disappeared, and then they're like, do you think they went back to their world? And I think there's other dialogue as well. I can't remember it right now, but there's other dialogue as well, I think, that kind of implies they're not from Radiant Garden, you know, which is why of all the Final Fantasy characters that we know are in Kingdom Hearts. I'm not talking about Lightning. I'm not talking about any of the 13 characters or really any of the Fabula Nova Crystallis characters because they're not in the games. So they could still be in Unreality or in Quadradum. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the specific ones we've seen, like, you know, Tidus and Yuffie and Tifa, like those characters who already have a canon existence in Kingdom Hearts. Like, I don't believe that they're in Quadradum. It doesn't, like, I already made a whole video about that, but I don't think they are. Not without some retconning. There has to be some retconning or something going on, because the official explanation that has been explanation for years has been that they're not even the same versions. Even with The World Ends With You, there was Nomura made it clear that they're not the same characters from the original The World Ends With You. You know, they're like an alternative version. So, you know, but hey, like we always say, it's Kingdom Hearts, so you never know. But I am curious about Cloud, because I don't think we have seen his world yet. I don't think we have. And that seems like something they kind of cover. And I'm surprised no one asked Nomura about that during the Q&A. I'm pretty sure no one asked him. From Seven Heart says, do you think Sigurd and Maleficent may be rivals in some sort? Sigurd in Myth was a dragon slayer. Oh, yes. I see where you're going. That is true. And I feel like Nomura wouldn't just name him Sigurd for no reason. Interesting. Well, that's interesting. Obviously, I guess it depends timeline-wise whether or not they'd meet each other. But where's the video I have with all that stuff? I think we saw... Did we see Maleficent in Dark Road? I think it was in Dark Road, right? Where is it? I'm not sure. I can't remember where it was. But I think there was a shot of Maleficent in Dark Road. Like it's we fight. Hold on, it's probably around here somewhere. Not here. Where is it? There's Cerberus. Maybe it's before. Hold on. No. Am I missing something? Am I blind? I'm sure. I'm pretty sure she's meant to be in this. I'm just gonna leave it running, and then if I see, I'll stop it because I don't know where it is. I don't feel like skipping through it. But yeah, I could see that would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. Him being called Sigurd is a very interesting choice of name, anyway. Like, I do think it's kind of, and also he's already being made to be quite important. Like, he was the voiceover for both the trailers, you know, for both the Missing Link trailer and the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. I'm really interested. Why is he the voiceover for Kingdom Hearts 4? Missing Link, okay, yeah, duh, because he's in Scarlet. But why Kingdom Hearts 4 though? And the fact that Nomura would even let us, like, the fact that that's something you could figure out, and that's some information he was kind of willing to share, if you could call it that, because it was like a puzzle to figure it out. But the fact that he was willing to kind of put the information out there to be found at all about Sigurd voicing the trailer is really interesting, because it's kind of like, okay, why are you letting us kind of figure that out this early? You know what I mean? I'm guessing maybe just a speculation, but like, why is Sigurd doing the voiceover for the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer? Is he in that time? That's really interesting. Like, I really do find that interesting. And I'm not gonna lie, it does have me thinking, like, is he standing there with the Master of Masters, or what's going on with that? You know, like, is he the other cloaked figure? Because I don't know. Have you played Final Fantasy? Yep, I've played Final Fantasy VII Remake. Great game. I know some people were just like, oh, I hate the ending, but hey, I liked it. So that may help explain a few things about Cloud. Somewhat. Somewhat. For me anyway, maybe I'm just not thinking properly. I will say this, in terms of remake, I know there's people who have like theories about how remake's going to tie into like Quadradum and Unreality. I'm not going to lie to you, because Nomura has his hands in both. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm not going to go that far, but I could see something wild like that being plausible, compared to if you try and tie up, like, of all the Final Fantasy games in existence right now, that is the only one I really feel like would actually be like blatantly like directly like that's what it is, you know. Ven and Vanitas went to God knows where after clashing, so maybe it's a similar thing here. Could be. I don't know. The fact they're Final Fantasy characters just makes it a little weird. You know, it's kind of like what's going on there. But yeah, I'm not sure what the explanation is. Of course, you need to play Final Fantasy VII itself first, not gatekeeping, but it would make sense. No, yeah, I get what you're saying. In Dream Drop Distance, we met like 2 different versions of Mickey. There may be another version of Cloud in a Final Fantasy VII mode, maybe. Yeah. Do you mean another version of Cloud in a Final Fantasy VII world? So you mean in Quadratum there could be a Final Fantasy VII world, and in that world there could be Cloud? Is that what you're saying? Horror Pill is I'm late. Yeah, as usual, which is I mean whatever.
Horror Pill.
Yeah, Horror Pills. I always have to give Horror Pill a shout out because ever since that first live stream I did, that terrible first live stream I did of the Game Awards, when I had like no subscribers, and there was only a couple people in the chat, and Horror Pill, you was there, and yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. You was there, we was watching the Game Awards, and we were just like, what's going on here? This isn't right. But yeah, shout out to Horror Pill. Abdul says, is Roxas still Lord of the Nobodies? We didn't see where the My Liege thing becomes a thing. Yeah, that is interesting, like, especially because it was, if I remember, kind of brought back in Kingdom Hearts 3, where you go to Twilight Town and they're like, do you seek our liege? And that is Kingdom Hearts 3. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, so it's not forgotten about, it's not completely irrelevant, it was brought back again, and okay. You know, but I don't know if that was just to kind of do a little throwback, like a little callback, or whether or not it'll have significance. To be honest, I'm not really sure what Roxas's significance is going forward. I haven't put a lot of thought into it, so I don't know. But I think like when it comes to Nobodies, personally, I kind of hope that we've seen. You know, I hope they're not going to be too much of a thing going forward, because we already had like a whole flipping, you know, a whole saga with them being part of it, you know. So I don't think the concept has to go away entirely, but I don't want it to be like the reason behind all the twists and stuff. Like, you know, that wouldn't be as entertaining to me personally. Ola says, yeah, okay, so you think that there's another version of basically Final Fantasy VII World, and that all that stuff could be there. All right. Again, I mean, I don't know if you saw my video about that and what my gripe is with it, but basically it's just the fact that it doesn't really fit the canon that's been established so far. That's basically what my main thing about it is. But I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just there better be a good reason for it. That's all I'm saying. Because based on what's known, like, again, Fabula Nova Crystallis is not involved when I say that. That is a separate thing. Even though it is Final Fantasy, I see it separately because it's not part of Kingdom Hearts yet. So to me, they can do whatever they want. If you want to have lightning running around here in this city with Sora, great, go for it. Because you didn't put her on the other side. So there's no canon that states where she fits into Kingdom Hearts. So you can make that up. But with the other characters like Tifa and stuff, it could be as simple as just saying they're alternate versions. But then it's kind of like, okay, how far do we go? Is there like alternate versions of everyone? Or like, is there, you know, I don't know. Especially because they're already Final Fantasy characters. For example, when someone says Yuzora is like an alternate Sora or whatever, if you say that, it kind of is like, well, okay, because Sora is a Kingdom Hearts character and Yuzora is, I mean, I guess you could say he's a Kingdom Hearts character. He kind of basically is. But you know what I mean? Like, he's inspired by Noctis, and Noctis is from Final Fantasy. So you can kind of see, okay. But outside of that, I don't know. So what are we talking about? Literally whatever you guys want. Whatever you guys want. Obviously, I've been on for an hour and a half. I'll probably go until the 2 hour mark. That's probably how far I'll go. I say that, and then watch what happens. We're going to be here, and it'll be 3 hours, and you'll be like, yeah, But no, I'll probably go into the 2-hour manga. So like literally whatever you guys want. If you have theories, you have thoughts, you have ideas, anything you want to share, anything you want to talk about, feel free. Just fire it in the chat, and I'll just reply to it. Because I didn't plan this, so I didn't I didn't come with a topic. I was just here. It's late in the UK, and I was kind of like, I want to talk to you guys because I had a video I was meant to release today. It wasn't a Kingdom Hearts video, but I had a video I was going to put out today. But YouTube was just on some goofy stuff, in terms of like with my video and whatever. So, because I didn't get to put my video out, I felt like I need to do something. I need to do something to like YouTube wise to make up for it because it kind of annoyed me. So I just decided to go live. So here we are. Lightning was planned to be in Dream Drop Distance. Yeah, I saw that. What was it? That little sprite or whatever of her. What was it she was holding? The struggle bat or whatever. I saw that. I don't know if that was ever confirmed to be real though, or if that was just a fan thing. I've never known if that was actually going to be a thing or not. I think if I remember correctly, I heard that it was kind of like it was cut content and people found it in like files or something like that. If I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, if she would have been in Dream Drop Distance, then I guess she would have probably been in Twilight Town or something. I guess like they would have put her in Twilight Town because if they were going to put that there, because I mean, if she has a struggle back, that kind of implies she would be there. Again, that's if that was an official image, which I'm not sure whether or not it was. We know that Sora will be in Kingdom Hearts 4. We know that Donald and Goofy all appear as well. We also know the Wayfinder trio goes to the Realm of Darkness, right? Any ideas as to where Riku, Kairi, and the Sea Salt trio may appear? Yeah, like I said, I don't really know with the Sea Salt trio, like Roxas and Shion, outside of like in relation to my latest video with the whole Lee and Isa thing and Subject X. That's really the main thing I see them focusing on with them right now, because the Subject X plotline is its a whole thing that needs to be handled, and it seems most likely it would be Lee and Isa that would be the focus for following that plotline. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is what's going to happen with that. In terms of Riku, well, Riku's off in Quadratum to go and get Sora. Whatever's going to happen there, I don't know. He's probably going to run into Zora. Whether they're going to beef or not, I don't know. But that's more than likely what's going to happen. Kairi, I'm not really sure. Yeah, we know she's supposed to train with Aqua, but it's like, is that all she's going to do? What next? I feel like there's a lot of potential to do a lot of stuff with Kairi. Whether or not that will be done, I don't know, because we've been saying that since pretty much since like the beginning of this series, especially since Kingdom Hearts 2. I know I've been thinking that since that game, but I don't know. They could do a lot of her, or we could just continue to see her not get a ton of development. So it's really hard to say, to be truthfully honest with you. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that's most likely. I just had this thought. What do you guys think about Missing Link? If you have any opinions on it, do you like it? Oh, I can't say do you like it because we ain't played it. But do you like what you see? Do you what you see on the screen right now? Do you like all of this? Is this appealing to you? Do you see this? And oh my gosh, my video is choppy, so you probably can't see it right. But you guys have seen it anyway. When it's not choppy. Do you guys find this appealing? Like, do you think it's any good, or you just kind of like?
It's very aesthetically pleasing right now on the stream.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's art. it's artwork. It's part of the content. I know there's a lot of people with like mixed opinions on Missing Link, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't see it coming. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I definitely thought we'd explored this scholar in some fashion, but I don't know if I saw it being like the game before Kingdom Hearts 4 and it's going to be a mobile game. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that one. No, let's run that back. Because we need to keep that on stream for a bit. But yeah, I'm not sure if I if it has controller support, I'm game. Yeah, I'm not sure whether or not they've confirmed if it will, so I'm not sure about that. But hey, that would be nice. That would definitely be. I mean, with the way how the gameplay looks, it'd be cool. But I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. The combat looks far more interesting. Definitely, it is definitely way better than. It is way better than what we've had so far with the mobile games, especially compared to Dark Road. Especially compared to Dark Road. So it's a step up from that for sure. Of course, how it will actually work in practice, I don't know. You know, one thing though I have to say about it, is it dropping crazy? It's ridiculous. I'm not sure why, because I do actually have really good internet. So it's not like back in the olden days. And by the olden days, I mean last year when I had terrible internet. I'm not sure what it is. It's probably something that's making it go down. I'm not sure what. I have to try and find out. I'll try and fix something. But I'll just go through the comments as I do that. Hold on. I don't hate it. I'd play it if I didn't have anything else to do. I understand that completely. Hold on a moment, guys. I'm gonna try and fix it. I'm not sure what it is. Might be. Hold on. Let me pause the video for a second. Let me get rid of this. 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 See if that fixes it. Hopefully that helps. So I had some other videos on here. I think might have been running and taken away from it. But if you guys can hear me, to be honest, that's the most important thing, because I'm mostly trying to respond to you guys' comments. So Missing Link is definitely something I would play than the trash ass Dark Road in Universe. Damn, you're going in. I mean, I ain't gonna go so fast. I know Dark Road's gameplay is kind of is like, I would call it mid, but that feels like an overstatement. You know, like, yeah, I'll give it to you. Dark Road is trash. Let's just call it what it is. Dark Road, not Dark Road story. Gameplay, yeah, it's garbage. It's garbage. I ain't even gonna. I'm not gonna lie. It's garbage. Union Cross, I'm gonna kind of give it some leeway just because it was the earlier game, and I feel like somehow Dark Road is worse than Union Cross's gameplay, and it's like, how did that happen? You know, like, how did that happen? I'm kind of sad that it's a mobile game. I understand why they probably couldn't do an MMORPG. Sure, but they could have done an action RPG. You know, they still could have done an action RPG. They could have done, like, I was waiting for the Birth by Sleep game of Phase 2. I was waiting for it. Like, I was like, where is it? Where's the Dreams of Distance? That's what I was hoping for. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was hoping for the Dreams of Distance game. I was hoping for the Birth by Sleep game. Like, I'm not really trying to see, because look, man, if you look at Phase 2, you literally have Remind. That's a DLC. That's the beginning of Phase 2. Then you have Union Cross and Dark Road, 2 mobile games. Then you have Melody of Memory, a rhythm game. And bear in mind, it's not even just the fact Melody of Memory is a rhythm game. The story only came in at the end, okay? There was barely any story. Like, bruh, Birth by Sleep, if you wanted to go watch just the cutscenes of Birth by Sleep, that's going to be several hours. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be several hours. You want to go watch all the story relevant cutscenes of Melody of Memory? Well, it's about 20, 25 minutes, maybe 30, maybe. Not really. It's about 20 minutes or so. So it's like, I don't know about all that. And then, so you've got 3 mobile games, rhythm game, DLC. And whilst it's not the worst thing in the world, like, because the Kingdom Hearts series has always kind of done, you know, like, okay, let's do different kinds of games, and, you know, you had Coded and all that. But the thing is you had multiple action RPG games as well alongside those games. So, and it was a longer phase, so it kind of made up for it, right? So I think once we became acclimated to the idea that you have multiple, not only multiple number titles in each phase, because phase one, I mean, I say each phase, we only had one phase, but phase one had Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Kingdom Hearts 3. So that's 3 number titles, all action RPGs. And then you have Birth by Sleep, and you have Dreams of Distance. And whilst there's different views on Dreams of Distance, at the end of the day, it's not, and I don't know. You could technically say it was still mobile games in terms of it being handhelds. If you look at it like that, at least the games are free. I'll say that. At least they're free. It's not that bad. At least they're free. Unlike Melody of Memory, I'm not even against the Melody of Memory thing, because trust and believe, when they announced that game, I went all the way in on that game. Most of you probably won't even remember that, but I made a video about it. Most of you probably don't know, because you probably didn't know about my channel back then. But yeah, I feel like Scarlet will no doubt reappear in a later game in glorious graphics. That would be nice. That would be nice. If you're talking about this old Scarlet, that would be nice to have it kind of come back at some point. Yeah, especially I don't know where it fits in, because we haven't really played through it. So, but we can assume it's going to have some relevance, obviously, to what's coming next. At the very least, it's definitely relevant to the Key Saga. But I think the way it's being said is it's a bridge between the Key Saga, which is Union Cross, Dark Road, Key, Unchained, and the other games that are set after that time. So basically all the other Kingdom Hearts games. Lushu covers the Master's eye on the no-name Keyblade at the start, so maybe the Master of Masters doesn't know of this time period, as he couldn't see and write the Book of Prophecies. I was going to make a theory about the society of this time, and then some new information came out about it to do with like the descendants who come from Ephraim's bloodline, and then the people who don't come from Ephraim's bloodline. I can't remember what they were calling them, but there was information about that. And at the time, I was kind of like, because I already was theory crafting, and then that information came out, and I was like, okay, interesting. Because I was kind of thinking along the lines of there's some sort of secret society thing going on here. Like there's some, like this is like a secret Scarlet Asylum, and there's a secret, thing going on. And also like Xehanort being born there is interesting. Because I'm wondering, damn, I can't remember it now, but I had a theory related to that, like to do with Xehanort being born there, the Book of Prophecies, and some other stuff, but I can't remember. But I do remember one thing related to it, and I'm going to ask you guys a question on it. Do you think in the Book of Prophecies, people are mentioned by name, or do you think it's just there's like a general kind of description of a person, but they don't actually say their name? So, for example, let's say they describe, someone like Sora in the Book of Prophecies. Do you think they actually use his name in the book, or do you think they just describe him? Because personally, I don't think they use the names, but you guys let me know what you think. I don't think they do, but you guys can let me know what you think about it. Agree, shopping bad. Yeah, I know it's still like that. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, I've just paused the video so that it's not as bad, but yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. Dark. It always bothers me why Magia in Virum Rex looks like Arden, and Arden looks like Brain. Out of all the 4 guys in Nox's group, Arden-like guy was chosen next to Aegis Ignis. Yeah, he does look like Arden in terms of the little hat thing and even the hair a little bit. It's kind of weird, like, because I don't think he's meant to be Arden. It doesn't really fit. It does seem more like he's, I don't know. I don't really know. Like, out of that group, he doesn't really, like, out of the original group, he doesn't really fit anyone that I can think of right now, to be truthfully honest with you. Doesn't really fit anyone. So, who's probably, yeah, I don't know. He does look like Odin, but I'm not really sure. I think he's just, if I'm going to be honest with you, Horror Pill, I really do think that if they're going for some sort of parallel with Sora in terms of what he's got going on, then considering the fact Magyar is magic, and then Aegis is, shield or whatever, then I would think with Goofy having the shield and Donald having the magic, that they're more meant to be like the Donald and Goofy equivalents. So, which will kind of rule out the idea that there's like any, like I think that's probably more, that's if they're going for that parallel, which it seems like they must have been originally. I'm not sure why Nomura cut their names out of Kingdom Hearts 3. Because the only reason we know their names is because we saw the deleted scene, but I don't know why he cut them. I'm thinking maybe it's because in terms of the context of the scene, it's a bit weird. Like for Rex to see a duck and a dog and then call them Magyar and Aegis, because they obviously don't look anything like Magyar and Aegis. So it's like, why would he say that? So maybe that's the reason he got rid of it, because it doesn't really make sense. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It could be another reason. Darkrobe literally tried to redo Kingdom Hearts Rechain, and that didn't work for mobile at all. Yeah, we all know about how there's always people who've got their thing about Rechain, Chain of Memories, and even coded. And a lot of the games that are not just a straight up action RPGs, I think are always going to have some mixed feelings from the audience. I don't know if there's any of them that is are just held up as like, wow, that was amazing. Story wise, a lot of people like some of the games. Like, I know a lot of people like Days and stuff in terms of story and whatever. But in terms of like the traditional, like when they veer away from doing the traditional style gameplay, I think a lot of times there's a lot of mixed feelings about it. So, and many people are going to have a major problem with the structure of the mobile games, especially many didn't even know who Strike even was. Yeah, like. Especially because what you're basically telling people they have to do is, well, if you want to know about this, you better go watch all the cutscenes. And here's the thing, like, yeah, we can say, oh yeah, just go and watch Damo's entire video explaining. Sure, shout out to Damo for doing those, because I watched them before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, so I was one of those people, because I was like, what is this mobile stuff? I don't want to look at that. I don't want to play that. And I never did. I just watched the cutscenes, right? But that's what a lot of us did. But sure, it's nice that you can have a content creator or like Everglow or whoever that goes through and puts these things together, but that's obviously not the intended experience, is it? So it's kind of like the intended experience is for us to play through these mobile gacha games and get the story. Another thing to do with that as well, there's two things I'm a little concerned with potentially missing link. One is the fact that I don't know how accessible it will be in terms of people's phones, because obviously looking at how it looks, it does look like it would have a bit more going on with it, performance wise than the other mobile games. So that being the case, it's like, is that also going to mean some people can't even play the game? And if that's the case, that makes it even more of that's another roadblock, which plays into exactly what you're saying here, So that's another thing as well to kind of think about, because I've seen some people say, "Oh, I don't know if my phone can run it," and and it's like, what do you say? I don't know if you guys know about the whole Blizzard meme. I think it was Blizzard Reels. Like, don't you guys have phones? Yeah, I feel like that applies to a lot of the stuff that's been going on with Kingdom Hearts lately, because it's just like, yeah, I don't know about that. But yeah, it's just nah, man, too much. I don't hate it, but it's just that's something to think about. And the other thing as well, other than people's phones being able to run it, is there was another thing, and now it's escaped me. Damn. But it doesn't matter. That by itself is already a problem, potentially. Maybe Keyblade drawings describe them. So like illustrations, do you mean? Because there are illustrations in the Book of Prophecies, right? There are illustrations. So that's interesting. The reason why, anyway, I'm not sure about... Oh, actually, I'm going to read through what you guys say. Thank you, Joseph. Says happy birthday. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Even though for me, my birthday ended almost an hour ago, but still, thank you. It sounds like only descriptions are in the book, like the Gospels from RE0, if you've seen that series. I did watch season 1 of RE0. I haven't continued with it. I did watch it when it was first ongoing. I watched the first season of it. It was really cool. It was really cool. I quite liked it. I really liked the opening of it as well. I like how it loops. such a cool thing. I don't think they do, but Lushu was pretty interested in Sora when he first saw him. Whether that's drawn to him being a Keyblade wielder or otherwise, I'm not sure. Just typing out loud, right? Yeah, I don't think. Hold on, I'm gonna read this quickly. Dark Road Mobile is more like Flick Rush than Rechain of Memories, in my opinion. Okay. I'm not really familiar with Flick Rush, and if I am, I'm not remembering it right now. But sure. In back cover, if you peek inside the book, Sora's crown emblem is in there. Sora's necklace might be a clue, but I don't know if names are mentioned in the book. Yeah, I'm pretty certain they're not. The only reason why I'm saying this or asking that question is because sometimes I guess like some people think, well, if all these characters' names, not just Sora, but anyone like Kairi, Riku, anyone, like if they're mentioned in a book, then that might explain, like similar to what Ashton said, like that might explain why maybe certain characters might take an interest in them or this, that, and the third. But the major issue of that is that that would mean the foretellers are dumb as hell, right? Because it would mean that they read the book and they were just like, oh, they're talking about the Keyblade War, and the Keyblade War is this Sora boy's there. Who's Sora? Gula, do you know Sora? I don't know. I never heard of that kid. Maybe it's someone. Ask around town. Like they're just asking around town. Hey, is there Sora around here? And everyone's just looking at them like, what? Who's that? Like I don't know who that is. You know, or like, anyone know Kairi? I don't know. No Kairi here. No Kairi here. Over here's that. She's like, oh, Kairi. That would be a nice name for my granddaughter one day. I don't know, but basically, I don't think so because that would just make the foretellers ridiculously stupid. It means they read about the Keyblade War, saw all their names, and still somehow thought it was talking about them. Unless secretly that is their names. Dun, dun, dun. No, I don't think so. But you know, it's like it doesn't make sense. I don't think so. No, it's probably not. I don't think the names are in there. I think that is what plays into the manipulation the master was doing with them, because a lot of people like say how the foretellers are quite similar to a lot of the guardians, right? And it's obvious they kind of do have similar characteristics. But I think that's actually kind of funny because it does play into the actual manipulation that was going on. Because if they read the Book of Prophecies and they see these archetypes or these characteristics and they think, oh, that's obviously me, or that, Gula's reading his thing, or Ased's reading and he's like, yes, that's me. I'm the tough guy, blah, blah. I don't know. Like, if they're reading it and they see descriptions and they can kind of fit themselves into the descriptions, then that makes sense as to why they think it's talking about them, when in reality, it's referring to, of course, Kingdom Hearts 3. To be honest, we don't really know what's in the Book of Prophecies anyway. So I always kind of find it a bit weird, like how much it describes and what it says and whatever. I hope one day we get to actually see it, like actually see everything that's in there. That would be nice. Because obviously it'd be quite cool. I do like the ideas I've heard before about Jiminy's journal having a connection with it, especially because I do believe it's been officially stated by Nomura that there's something going on there. And I feel like I don't have any solid ideas with it, but I do feel like that's really interesting. Like, because it could be something as simple as the Master of Masters gets Jiminy's journal or something. I don't know. Because obviously Lushu didn't write Jiminy's journal, but supposedly there's something connected. I don't know. I just think that's cool anyway, just as an idea. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. But yeah, thank you, Horapil. Thank you, Horapil, anyway, for the birthday wishes, and shout out to you. Ashton says, oh, I don't mean that names are mentioned and that brings interest in Sora. Rather that they have an interest in Sora without names. Therefore, it's more that they resonate with who he represents. Yes. Okay. Yeah. That kind of links more with, well, I guess what I was saying. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Like, it's kind of like, oh, it kind of reminds me of such and such and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I could see that. Abdul says, what do you think happens when light and darkness don't exist? Because if Quadranum is anything like I guess you mean our world, there's potential for even worse events to take place than Xehanort ever did. I would say, well, it's a bit weird, the whole, like, light and darkness don't exist, because they quite clearly must be in existence, because how is it Sora's using a Keyblade, which comes from light, and then how is it that there's a dark side there, which obviously comes from darkness, right? So there must be light and darkness there. But obviously, if what's being said about Quadratum is true, then there wasn't always darkness there. I actually have a theory that I'm working on that potentially might answer as to how light got there. But I think that that's something that is worth thinking about, because I don't think it was there originally. I think when it was stated that it's a world of light, neither light nor darkness, I do think that was true at one point. Something happened, and now it's no longer true. And that's why a dark side is there, and that's why Sora's whipping out the Keyblade. And yeah, I think that something changed. And that check, because again, I pointed this out in my video I did about Quadratum, the Tale 2 Quadratum video. Like, the people in Quadratum clearly have never seen anything. Like, from their reactions, I'm pretty sure they've never ever seen a dark side before. So this isn't some everyday occurrence. It's not like, I mean, sure, in the Kingdom Hearts universe, people would probably run away too. But in the Kingdom Hearts universe, they have like Keyblades and weapons, and they know how to, they can handle it, right? They have a way of countering this. I don't know if they do in this world right now. I don't think they do yet. You know, I mean, it just doesn't seem like it. I could be wrong, man, but it just doesn't seem like it. I think it's one of those things where it's kind of just like, yeah, it's not really. I think something happened to change the state of, you know, the Kingdom Hearts. Sorry, not Kingdom Hearts, of Quadratum, and that's the reason why, you know, we're seeing things the way how they are now, where light and dark can kind of exist there. You know. The feeling, I guess, the aura, I guess, yeah, I get what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. Which again, it'll be interesting to see if they play on that when the foretellers meet the Guardians. Man, that's going to be some interesting stuff. Hopefully that will be like done really well, because that has a lot of potential to have some really interesting interactions going on. You know what I mean? Do you guys have any theories about Ava and where Ava is? You guys have any ideas about that? Let me know. I mean, I've already got a video. I'll just throw it out. I do think it's very possible she's Kyrie's grandma. I'm not gonna lie. Whether you like it or not, that's just my thought. Could be wrong, but I've done a whole video about it. But yeah, you know, I do think it's possible, or at the very least, she's got some connection going on there. Like, I don't know. I think there's too much coincidences. So yeah, but you guys let me know if you've got any thoughts on Ava's whereabouts, or what she's doing, or how she'll pop up, if she's gonna pop up, or whatever. Light and darkness must be in Quadratum because there are people in our world with light and darkness in their heart, like Sora stressed it. Exactly. So I think that if it wasn't there, it is now. You know, which of course, if the master, I don't know if the master would have been the one to bring it there, if he was the first person to go there or not. But it's definitely something to think about, you know. So Zella Santana says, reintroduced all the Final Fantasy characters, returning Kingdom Hearts 4. I want to see Vincent, Barrett, Kate Sith, Red 13, Zack, and Jill, Genesis. Man, you want the whole lineup. Kadaj, Loz, and Yazoo from Final Fantasy. You want Kadaj and Loz and Yazoo? Look, man, there's a whole crowd of people that hated Advent Children that might have a bone to pick with you over that. I'm not one of them, by the way, but I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. Kingdom Hearts story equals Fabula lore. You saying that like it's part, like the story is part of the Fabula lore, or do you mean the Fabula lore is part of the Kingdom Hearts? I guess that's kind of the same. Ava is Kyrie. So you think Ava is Kyrie? Okay. Do you think that means the other foretellers are? I mean, they can't really be other people, can they? But yeah. Can we talk about how Kingdom Hearts characters live so long? Like, damn, I wonder how they don't go insane living so long. Well, this is the thing. If you're talking about most of the characters that live long, haven't really lived, like most of the characters we know that are from way back in another time, they haven't actually lived long. They've just, through some type of shenanigans like time travel, ended up in the present day or in the future. You've got some people like the Master, who God knows how long he's been around. Luciu, we know he's been body hopping. I don't know how he I don't know how he handles it. I don't know how he handles it because he's definitely been he's said it. He's lived lots of different lives. So but he seems all right. He seems chill as Zigbar. I don't know, as Brady, he seems all right. Doesn't seem like he's having any issues. Seems like he's having a great time. You know, but maybe him having a purpose has kept him sane over all that time, you know. What that purpose is debatable because maybe it's indeed to be the traitor. Even though I was really banking on other being the traitor, but it is what it is. Kingdom Hearts' door is Etro's gate. That where heart and darkness is. I think Nomura planned Final Fantasy Versus 13 for this moment. Kingdom Hearts' door is Etro's gate. And where heart and darkness is. I think Nomura planned Final Fantasy 13 for this moment. Well, there is information, or kind of like there's stuff out there that implies that Versus 13 and Kingdom Hearts were going to be linked in some way. How far, I really can't say, but the thought is out there. So I definitely think that I definitely think Nomura had some plans to try and do a little something. How far you go, that's anyone's guess. But I can definitely see something. Anyone know the foreteller's ages or age range? I definitely don't. I don't know. So, yeah, I haven't got an answer for you. I'm afraid I definitely don't know. Nah, Ava and Gula were lovers. I mean, there goes the Ava and Gula ship. There it goes. It's just sailing into the sunset. I mean, I don't know. I get what you're saying. They definitely were close with each other. Yeah, for sure. If it would be cool if we get a short movie about Ansem the Wise's apprentices after Zayn was taken. I would love to see that, especially based on my last video. I would love to see that. Something to do with like Isa and Luciu and oh my gosh, that reminds me. I haven't even read the comments to that video yet. I'll do that when I get off of it. I forgot to actually do that. But yeah, like that would be really cool, man. Like there's a lot of things in the Kingdom Hearts setting. It's like Star Wars, like it's like with Star Wars. It's like, oh man, it'd be really cool if they explored this era, or if they were to tell this story or go down. And with Star Wars, a lot of times when they had the old extended universe, they would explore a lot of stories. In their new extended universe, they're kind of doing it. Kingdom Hearts, it'd be cool if it had. I don't know if it has if it's like big enough just yet for it, but it would be cool if it had like a kind of expanded universe type of deal going on. Where you got like books and little like an anime show and stuff like that wasn't necessarily like, oh, if you don't watch this anime show then you're not going to understand Kingdom Hearts 5. Not necessarily that, because to be truthfully honest, I'm not a fan of making supplementary material integral to the plot, even though I love Nier, and Nier is fucking terrible for doing that. It's atrocious for doing that, but like I'm not a big fan of it. I'd rather you don't do that. Like, I don't think it's a really good idea to make people have to engage with a medium they might not like in order to appreciate a video game. Like, if I am playing a video game series and that's what it is, why do I have to go and watch like a show? Especially if I might not want to do that. So if they do supplementary stuff, I would like if it just explored other things. That's like, yeah, you don't have to know this story, but it just adds to the lore. It adds to. So, like, for example, if I play Kingdom Hearts 5. And then, there's something going on. Like, like, for example, like I made the video about Sight to Scar. If we're going to be truthfully honest, Sight to Scar isn't like mega important. At least as far as we can, like, it doesn't seem like it's mega important. I'm just interested because I want to know the story. So if they said, we're going to do a little anime mini-series and it's going to be, I don't know, 1 episode or 2 episodes or 3, 4 episodes, whatever. And it's going to explore some of this other stuff and you're going to find out about Subject X and Sight to Scar and blah blah. Cool. I'll do that if it's not something that is going to be integral to the next game. If it is, yeah, just avoid that, because the thing is, we already got it where the games are on different platforms. Like, we don't need to start. This is how you get to Nier. And for those of you who aren't Nier fans, allow me to enlighten you. This is where you get to the point where you have a stage play being canon. Okay? A stage play. That's in Japanese. And it's not translated. You thought Final Mix was bad? You thought Final Mix was bad back in the day when it wasn't translated. Yeah, well, you ain't suffered until you need to go through a stage play that's not translated. Okay, then you'll know. Because imagine Kingdom Hearts had a stage play. Like it'd be cool if Kingdom Hearts had a stage play, but if it was like super canon, I don't care if it has canon details. I'm talking about like if you do not watch that stage play, you're not going to understand what happens in the next game. Imagine that. Bro, people would go off. They would go off. Be funny as hell. That would be a cool short movie. Yeah, I agree. Would you like to see
that's the craziest thing I've ever heard, bro.
what the I was gonna actually ask you about that. It just mean what the stage play.
Yes, the stage play that you have to, that's integral to the story.
Yeah,
That's not been translated.
bro. You do not want to know about that. I'm telling you right now, you don't. Like, it's just crazy. Like Nier, I love Nier. I'm gonna tell you guys, if any of you are Nier fans, because I know there's a couple people who subscribe to me and they're like, man, you're gonna do more Nier videos. Look, man. Nier's not like Kingdom Hearts. Like, you talk about Nier, you better come like 175% correct. And the problem is, I don't know Nier's lore as well as I know Kingdom Hearts' lore. I don't feel as confident with it as I do with Kingdom Hearts. Like Nier is really date heavy. So what I mean by that is like there's like, oh, in this year this event happened, and in this year that event, and it's like it's really key things. So if you was to make a theory, you need to know those dates. And I'm not good with that stuff. Like, yeah, you can research it, but it's just it's so tedious. Whereas with Kingdom Hearts, it's not that bad. You just need to keep track of the games. But it's not like back in this we don't even know the years, to be honest, with Kingdom Hearts like that. Like we're still trying to figure out like where does this slot in? You don't even know the years properly like that. But with yeah, it's just too much. And then and what's annoying, I'm gonna say this as well as another difference. Yoko Taro as a director, oh my god, he is like the opposite of me when it comes to his decisions and storytelling, because he has this thing where he doesn't like to necessarily make everything in his games connect. This is one of the reasons I love what Nomura does, because he will make the slightest detail significant. Like he will do it, and I love that, and I think most of us love it, which is why we go crazy over what's going on here. But like Yoko Taro, he is like the polar opposite of that stuff. He's more like, I'm gonna pull something up right now. I'm gonna pull something up because I've just got to. It might kill my attention, but I'm sorry, I've got to do. I need to find Nier. Where is the? Because there was stuff about Nier that came out, and I was like, oh wow, like this is gonna be really important. And then the game came out, and I was making up theories about things I thought would be important, and it was just meaningless, you know. And it was meaningless because. Yoko Taro doesn't tend to make a lot of things like relevant. No, I don't want Replicant. I don't know why I picked Replicant. I don't want that. But yeah, I know you guys probably, if you don't know about Nier, you're probably like, I don't care about Nier Next Gen. Shut up. Think about Kingdom Hearts. You guys need to get into Nier if you're not into it. It's great. You love it. Especially if you like really mind-bending stories and like the gameplay integration with narrative, that I'm not even going to ruin it for you guys. It's great stuff. Trying to find Komatar. Oh yeah, you know what? No, I'm going to bring this up actually because this is funny. I'm going to bring this up just because it's funny. Like it might not even. I want to ask you guys' opinion on this quickly. Let me pull this up.
Peggy 18.
We don't need Peggy 18, dude. This is the trailer of the of the Nier DLC. Do you guys think this is gonna happen in Quadratum? You guys think this is happening? You think we're gonna see this? Is Nomura gonna come floating out the sky and we're gonna have to kick his ass? Tell me the truth. Oh my god, it would be hilarious. I don't know if they're gonna go there, but listen, there's a precedent. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, I'm gonna go through these in a bit, and then I'm gonna start winding down because going over the 2 hours, but hold on, I don't think I read this. Would you like to see more Human Heartless or keep it as Ansem Secret of Darkness being the only one? I feel like we've had enough of the Heartless, to be honest. I feel like we can live without them. We kind of been there, done that. Let's see something a little different, you know. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like I'm not going to have a big issue with it. It's just I hope it's not going to be some recycled, repeated kind of thing, because we've kind of already gone down that road. So I'd rather we did something a little different. Like the Willful Darknesses are interesting in and of themselves, and I think they fit fine for the darkness side of the equation in Kingdom Hearts. We don't need to have like, obviously Heartless are still around, like the dark side, but I don't think we need to have like another Secret of Darkness kind of thing. Do you think Subject X is going to appear in Kingdom Hearts 4? I don't know. I would like to think so, but honestly, I feel like we need to wait until we see another trailer, because that is going to be reliant upon how much of Kingdom Hearts 4 takes place in the realm of light, unless of course Subject X is for some reason in Quadradum, which is possible, I guess. But damn, that actually is possible. That could explain where Subject X has been this whole time. But unless Subject X is in Quadradum, yeah, I would think we'll have to wait and see how much of the realm of light's going to be in Kingdom Hearts 4. But I would like to think, yeah, that's the game where we're going to figure it out. But you never know. It could be 2 games from now, 3 games from now. Who knows? Lewis says, Nomura being salty about Versus 13 is pretty much obvious at this point. As far as Quadradum goes, the only thing I think can be said for sure is that it's some kind of limbo thing. Yeah. I don't know if I'd say limbo. I think the final world is meant to be the limbo between both sides. And then when it's like you're fully gone, because if you're in the final world, you can come back. Naminé was in the final world and she was able to come back. The Nameless Star is in the final world. And if we restore her, then she'll be able to go back to her side, right? So I think the final world is the limbo. Whereas when you're fully on one side or the other, you've fully gone to the other side. Which does make me wonder, for a character to go from Quadradum, like from Unreality to Kingdom Hearts reality, I wonder if it's the same thing, but their version. Like, I wonder if you kind of have to, because in Strex's case, okay, you died. Sora's case, you got booted out for breaking the nature taboo. The Master's case, we don't really know, but it's probably something similar to Sora. I mean, unless he died. So I don't know. But yeah, not really sure what it is. But I would think that, yeah, I would think Quadradum is like fully the other side. Like when you can't be, that's why they can't just get him from the final world. Otherwise his heart would be stranded there and he'd be able to be restored back in Kingdom Hearts reality without them having to go to Quadradum. But I think the entire point is that in Quadradum, you are fully on the other side. And that's why Strelix is like, this is an afterworld. Like, this is literally, like, I don't want to say death, but basically, like, this is your afterlife, effectively. Like, there is no purgatory. You know, now you're on the other side, mate. And, yeah. But again, that's just what I think. I wonder how they will transfer Goofy and Donald into Quadradum. Will they be a real dog and a real duck? That's what a lot of people's memes are about. It'd be funny. It'd be funny if they do that. I'm not even sure if they're going to go to Quadradum, to be honest. If you saw that art that Nomura did, where they was all like wearing all these different outfits, it was Sora, Kairi, Riku, and I know Lee or Axel, he was there. I'm forgetting who the other person was. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. And who the other person was that was there. Yeah, I think that's Roxas. I think it's Roxas that was there as well. Is that Roxas? Yeah, it looks like Roxas was there, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that picture is indicative. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, hold on, let me see if I can put it up for you guys. I'm not saying that picture is necessarily what it's going to be, but I could definitely see. Hold on. yeah, I could definitely see something along those lines being the case. Because at the end of the day, it's like, what else is it really gonna? I don't know. I'm not saying those guys are going to Quadratum, but I could see it. If it is an indicator of who's going there, that's kind of cool, but it might not be. Might not be, to be honest. Might just be a fun thing the Mori did. He's just like, hey, check out these outfits. You know? But I know some people are saying, oh yeah, like the outfit looks a little bit like Sora's official Kingdom Hearts 4 outfit. It is different. It is different. They're not really the same exactly, but I know what people are getting at. So who knows? Who knows? Could be. Could very well be. I'll just quickly get it. If you're curious what I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about. If you're just like, what is next? What image? This is the image. Yeah. Don't know how important that's going to be to the future, but hey, it's something to think about, right? If it is an indicator, I mean, we can be confident. We know Riku's definitely heading over there. Kairi, we can be fairly confident she'll probably have to go over there and save Riku and Sora. I feel like that's what will probably happen with her. But having Lee there, Axel there, is interesting. Again, it's not saying necessarily they will be the ones going, but and then Roxas, don't know, something to think about. Limbo makes a lot of sense based on how Shalexa explained it. So characters like Masters and maybe Zora can access Limbo and get back out by will, right? Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I don't think it is, because if it was a Limbo, they should be able to just go in and out, like not in and out, but they should be easily able to be saved. It should be a lot easier for people to get them than it currently is. Or is he stuck out of Limbo, his world? I'm not sure. Though that does. I'm curious. It's just a random thought for some reason that what you guys are saying has made me wonder. Do you guys think that there's any characters other than Lux Sword or Luke Sword, whatever? I say Lux Sword, but I know when I made my video on him, it was I watched the cutscene. It's like Luke Sword. I was like, even though I say Luciu, so it's like whatever. But do you guys think there's any other characters from Quadratum that are in Kingdom Hearts? Like they're originally, I'm not saying Lux was originally from Quadratum because I'm not really sure about that. I made my suggestion in my recent video about where I think he could be from. But do you guys think that there's anyone else that could be from that side that is in Kingdom Hearts reality? Like, do you guys think there's anyone else? Someone that we already know, someone we haven't seen? You guys let me know what you think. Like, is there anyone from that side that you think someone might pop up? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of someone who could fit that. I don't even know. But someone. Someone. I'm just curious. I think he will be stuck at first. Need some gameplay segments with Lauriam and Elrena, either pre-Birth by Sleep or in the present after recompletion. That would be nice. I'd love to play as Elrena. I would love to play as Elrena. I love Elrena. Such a cool character. I remember when I played Kingdom Hearts 2, because that was my entry to the series. You get to I remember seeing all these little what was it, the empty silhouettes, and I was kind of thinking who are these other people? Because obviously I didn't fight them, so I'm thinking, well, obviously there's a game before this. I guess they're in Kingdom Hearts 1. But then I looked at Kingdom Hearts 1 and it's like, no, they're not in this game. So obviously I had to find out about Chain of Memories. But I remember thinking oh, who's this girl in the organization? What's she about? I wasn't ready for her personality at all. I wasn't ready for it. I was not ready for it. But yeah, I'd love to play as her. Demyx could be a Prompto parallel. Okay, so that idea was I saw the idea being said to me years ago, and I like the idea. I have always liked the idea, but the more I look at Magia and Aegis, like I said earlier, I feel like if they are meant to be Magia and Aegis, and Nomura is not low-key retconning that, I feel like the intention is for them to be the mirror. That being said, and I said this on a live stream a while ago, okay, and to play into the Prompto thing, I will say this. personally, I like the idea, and personally, I think it's something that could happen. And I do think that it's just that I don't know if he would have the same role like Prompto has in 15, is what I'm trying to say. So where Prompto is kind of like part of the group and all of that, I don't know if that's exactly what would happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like, why wasn't he just in the commercial then? Again, you could say because it would spoil it. Fair enough. But I just think the fact that they're called Maggie and Aegis is really trying to play into the idea that they're basically the Donald and Goofy for Yozora. So I'm kind of struggling to see where a Prompto character fits into that. You know what I mean? I'm not sure about that. But to be honest, I don't really know what to make of Demix. Like, if I'm just going to be real, I really don't. And I said it in one of my recent videos. Like, I don't think I'm going to drop a video on him because I just don't know. I have no idea what's going on with that dude. I really don't. I really don't know. You know, he is interesting. And I know there's people who are adamant he's the master of masters, but like, I'm not going to lie to you. There's cutscenes where I watched with him where he is definitely kind of sus. You know, especially like when you look back at Kingdom Hearts 2, he's always been like, you know, like when you first see him, like when he's in Kingdom Hearts 2, like he's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm chicking, or, you know, blah, blah. Like, he doesn't want to fight. And it's kind of just like, what's going on with this dude? You're in the organization. You obviously can fight. Shit, to be honest, when I first played Kingdom Hearts 2, I got stuck on him. He was the first boss I got stuck on. So, I mean, you ain't as weak as you're making yourself out to be. So why are you saying that? You know what I mean? And I see what people are going with the whole kind of like the trope of he's like the, you know, the hidden hand, right? Like, oh, like he's downplaying the fact that he's actually really the one behind it all. I know exactly what idea people are saying when they suggest that. I get that trope, and he does fit it. If it's true, he does fit it. But I don't know. I don't know if that's where it's going for him, especially because he is in the Keyblade Legacy scene, and Xemnas is like, you know, we have a Keyblade Legacy, and Xemnas knows what his Keyblade Legacy is. And it's like, if he knows what his Keyblade Legacy is, it just kind of seems like, how does he know that? Like, wouldn't that mean he knows he's the master then? You know? I don't know. I don't think he's a master of masters. I feel like he's, but that's the thing. I actually feel like who he is outside of master of masters is actually more interesting because it's like so hard to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm wondering if he's someone that we're gonna meet in Missing Link, but we're not gonna meet him as, like, you know, if you try to unscramble his name and figure out what his real name is, I wonder if we're gonna meet a character and it's someone else. Like how Zigbar, for example, is Lushu, and obviously Lushu has no real. It's not an anagram of Zigbar, but I wonder if like someone like Sigurd or something like, just, I'm not saying he's Sigurd, but I mean something like that, like someone that we're going to meet that is important, but you don't realize it's him straight away because it hasn't, you know, certain events haven't taken place. Like, I wonder if he's going to have one of those type of reveals. So he'll be standing right in front of us, but we won't know because he hasn't become Demix yet, if you get what I'm saying. I don't know. That's the closest I can get with him, man. I don't really know what's going on with Demix at all. So, do you think Bilal is the master of masters? That name's familiar. I can't place it right now. That name's familiar though, but for the moment, I'm gonna say no. Seems I can't really remember what that is, but to be honest with you, I'm of the opinion, like, I like the idea of the master of masters just being light in some fashion and all of that. Also, I'm gonna ask this. I've asked this before on the stream, but I'm gonna ask it again since there's different people here. So, do you guys think that the master, like, if you look at darkness, right? Darkness, in its natural state, doesn't have a physical form, right? So, in its natural state, it's just this kind of like gust, or, you know, this kind of airy type of darkness, right? It's like a wind or something, not a wind, but you know what I mean. It's like air, cloud of darkness. Do you think the master is like some light version of that? If he is indeed something like light or something like that, do you think he actually isn't? Now, I know you might be thinking, oh, but he's in a coat, he's got a humanoid form. Firstly, you know, something that's disembodied can kind of go into something like that. However, it could be just as simple as Just like Vanitas. Look at Vanitas. He wears a black coat. He can put a hood up and you don't see his face. And it's just like the Master of Masters. But we know that before he became Vanitas, that darkness in its natural state was just a cloud of darkness. So do you guys think the Master of Masters in his natural state, if he is indeed light, would he be like the equivalent of that? Would he be like, I don't know what it would be, like a beam of light or something, or a ball of light? I don't know what it would look like, but maybe it'd be a light bulb. I don't know. But you guys get what I'm saying. Like, do you think he could just be like the other side of that? Some sort of like intangible form of light. You know what I mean? As opposed to being like an actual person, and he's maybe inhabited someone's body or took a form like what the darknesses do. And that's why he can wear the black coat. And maybe that's partly related to why he doesn't want to take the coat off. And he says, I'm too much of a scaredy cat to take mine. I don't know. Just something I'm throwing out there. I don't think Quadranum is a limbo, though. It could be like two sides of Twilight Town. Sure. Yeah, I think that could work. Demyx is definitely a placeholder, or has been so far. Yeah, if you mean a placeholder in terms of the Mora doesn't really have like a solid idea of him, I do think that's very possible. Because it's like he reminds me of the black box. He seems like one of those things where it's kind of like it's so enigmatic. It's possible Nomura doesn't actually even know the answer yet, and he's just kind of gonna figure it out, you know, because it's not easy to slot him in anywhere. And I'm just kind of thinking like, is that because there's not really a place to slot him in yet, because it's not being planned out, you know? Knowing how much trouble Larxene gave me in King Hearts 2 Final Mix, she has to be busted as a Keyblade holder. Sure. Yeah, I'm sure. It's too on the nose. I think you were talking about Demyx being a Master of Masters. Yeah. I mean, if you watch my latest video where I was talking about Locksword, I was suggesting like potentially, I was more talking about Locksword, but I did slyly suggest as well, potentially with Demyx, he could have known the Master from way back in the day. That could be what his thing is. I definitely think Locksword is potentially from that time. I do think so, especially because the Master said he lost people to darkness. And, you know, when you lose your heart or whatever to something like darkness, when that can happen, we know what potentially can happen from that. You form a nobody, right? So I don't know. And it could also in some way be related to why he ended up in Unreality. That's if he's not originally from there, of course. Demyx controls water, which is darkness. Yeah, I know there's a bit of a thing potentially there. Not sure what it says about his character. I don't have any real takes on that. But yeah, it's worth making note of. The Master of Masters has to be some ethereal eldritch being. Yeah, I feel like he's some kind of primordial something. And I feel like that's what that war was between. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the war he was in when he was, he says he was a boy. So it kind of gives the impression like he was like a person. I don't know. He could just be saying that, man. He could just be, he could just be using it to not give away. I don't know. But yeah, I kind of see it as like that war between light and darkness that he grew up with is like what set the tone, and it's like everything since then is just a repeat of that war, and he's just trying to end that specific cycle, you know. So unscramble Demyx and translate the names and become shook. I'll have to do that. The only one I'm thinking of right now is like there's like, I think Dime is one of them. Dime, and I think Midi or something like that. I think that's the two ones that Medi or something. And I think people say Medi because it's like melody or something like that. I think that's the main two I can think of right now that I've heard people say. I agree that the Master of Masters is some ethereal being. His darkness is also a smoke being. Yep. He probably stole Yuzora's eyes since he has no eyes. He I don't know if he's got no eyes, but I get what you're saying. No, I think the character itself has way too much personality to be some kind of fog type thing. I get what you mean, but would you say Vanitas has a personality? Would you say Vanitas has too much personality to be a fog type of thing? I mean, to be honest, Vanitas isn't too much of a far cry from the Darknesses. He does kind of sound like them, to be honest. I am Darkness. Like, yeah, he's not that far from it, to be honest with you. Whereas the Master of Masters is pretty distinctly eccentric. But I don't know. Maybe that's because he's a light entity. Maybe that's part of it. Sora's pretty eccentric, and he's not light, but I don't know. He's more aligned with it. Kairi, well, she's not really eccentric, is she? Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it doesn't work. Also, happy birthday. Thank you very much. Even though it's done. And is the Master of Masters evil? Well, I think that depends on who you ask. If you ask Ava, I'm sure she's going to turn around and be like, how could he? He's such a bad man. I really am interested in seeing Ava, man. Vanitas is kind of in the middle, no? In the middle in terms of what? His personality, do you mean? Because in terms of like his allegiance, he's pretty firmly Darkness. But if you mean personality, yeah, I can see how he's kind of in the middle of it. Kind of in the middle. But yeah, I've been going for 2 hours and almost 40 minutes, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. But I'm definitely going to start closing it down. I do appreciate you guys for coming. If you have anything you'd like to say at all, any final thoughts or anything, then speak now or forever hold your peace. But I do appreciate all of you that came. Like I seriously do. It wasn't meant to be no big live stream or anything crazy or special, but I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to do it just as a way to kind of end my day and stuff. So yeah, I appreciate all you guys that came. Hold on, I'm trying to look through. But yeah, at this point, something I'm gonna do, because hold on. I'm thinking about Well, I guess I'll ask you guys this final question, and then we can all just go. What do you guys what do you guys like? What are you guys really into right now? That's not Kingdom Hearts. Like in terms of games or TV shows or anything. Like what right now is grabbing your interest that's out there? That's not Kingdom Hearts. So do not say Kingdom Hearts. Okay, do not say Kingdom Hearts, all right? What besides Kingdom Hearts is grabbing your interest? I don't care what it is. It can be a game, it can be a comic, it can be whatever. It can be anything. It can be a book, could be a stage play that is not translated from Japanese. And no horror pill, not anime stuff, movie stuff. What's like give me some examples of some stuff that you've liked lately. Like it doesn't have to be, it can be just one thing if you can't pick a lot, but I'm just curious because the thing is, I talked to you guys a lot about Kingdom Hearts, but to be truthfully honest with you, like I like talking about a lot of things anyway. So sometimes like I like talking about all kinds of stuff. So it's nice to know what you guys are into. That's not Kingdom Hearts, not necessarily because I'm about to go make 1,000 videos on it, but just because it's nice. Like as my audience and as people who watch me, it's nice to kind of know what you guys are into outside of Kingdom Hearts. You know what I mean? Like. You guys aren't one-dimensional. You've got other interests. You're not just Kingdom Hearts people. When you're not watching me or other Kingdom Hearts creators, I'm sure you look at other stuff. So I'm just curious what it is like. You know what I mean? Because yesterday, my birthday, May 4th, for those of you who don't know, May 4th is Star Wars Day. And I'm a massive Star Wars fan. Like I wanted to drop a Star Wars video yesterday. And now I'm annoyed because YouTube was like, no, you can't put a video out because we're going to take this video and we're going to block it. And I was like, oh, thanks, YouTube. But that aside, I love Star Wars. And something I've been playing lately, again, that I played loads and loads of times, but I started playing again, a game called Dragon's Dogma. I don't know how many of you know about that game, but I fucking love that game. I love that game. I love Dragon's Dogma so much, even though it's unfinished and it's not perfect, but it is. That game is such a diamond in the rough. It is. I would love to see a Dragon's Dogma 2. But I will quickly read these, even though they're Kingdom Hearts related. But do you think the Keyblade could have had some consequences in unreality? Yes. You say yeah, personality. Other stories probably going to be via flashbacks. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't mind that. Thanks for the good discussion. Thank you as well. Thank you to all of you that contribute and add stuff. Horrible says nice stream. Thank you, Horrible. It's always nice seeing you, Horrible. I like when I see your comments. When you have something to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm always looking out for your comments, Horrible. I see now. I'm putting pressure on you now. Now you have to comment all the time. No, I'm joking. You don't. I remember I told you that like ages ago. I was like, this isn't your job, because you said something like, oh yeah, like sorry I'm late. It's like, man, this ain't your job. You ain't on the clock. But I do appreciate you supporting me for all this time. You've been around for a while, so thank you. Dragon Ball always. Dragon Ball is cool, man. Dragon Ball is cool. Dragon Ball is cool. It's one of those things where a lot of those shows. In terms of anime, my favorite anime is an anime called Fate Zero. That's my favorite anime, and I like the whole Fate series in general, but Fate Zero in particular is my favorite anime, and I've yet to watch an anime that beats it for me. I've watched a lot that I like, and a lot of others that are my favorites too, but if I had to pick one that I'm like, this is just the anime for me, it's Fate Zero. I just love the anime so much. Telltale The Walking Dead series. I played through a bit of that. I've played the other Telltale games. Litness, have you played Telltale games? I think you have, haven't you? Like some of them.
I think the one game I played is the Borderlands one.
Yeah, a lot of people want to.
Because I'm a big fan of the Borderlands series, so anything Borderlands related, I'm on. But I wasn't too like excited about it. Like, I didn't enjoy the game too much because I'm more of the fan of the original game format.
I liked the Telltale.
It was alright.
Yeah, I liked it. So there were some people who didn't like it and they said, "Oh, it's trash," or blah. I don't know. Telltale seems to have like a bit of a mixed rap, but of their games that I played, I did like them. I played that. I played The Wolf Among Us. I played. What else did I play? I did again play the Walking Dead one a little bit. I never finished it. I probably didn't finish it because it's zombies, man. And like zombies for me are just a bit, like generally speaking, I find them boring these days, man. Like, I just feel like they're so overdone. You know what I mean? It's like zombies, okay. It's just not as exciting for me. It's not a knock against zombies too hard. It's just one of those tropes you get a bit exhausted of, Oh wow! I can't believe I haven't seen this. Shout out to the Ashton Chevrolet again. Wow, coming with a £10 super chat. Says was a really good stream. Thanks for going live. Bless you, man. I'm into Trails of Cold Steel. I have heard of that series and I know nothing about it. So you'd have to tell me if it's well. I'm assuming it's good. You're saying you're really into it. I know nothing about Trails of Cold Steel whatsoever. Like nothing. I just know that I believe it's a JRPG and that's it. And sometimes I see it, for sale, and that's it. But I don't know anything else in relation to it. Sonic. I'm guessing that's Sonic, unless that Sonic's like alternative brother. Like that Sonic's like brother over in Quadratum or something. I don't know. I'm assuming that's Sonic though, right? Seeing as the S is next to the D on the keyboard, so I'm going to assume you meant Sonic. Yeah, Sonic's cool. I used to like Sonic Underground, the cartoon. I also like the Sonic cartoons before that. I can't remember what they were called. I don't even know if they even had any specific names. But the cartoons that are older than that, like the one where I can't even remember all of them. But there was the one where he was like fighting the robots and they had like the little red visor and he I don't even remember it fully. And I'm not like I don't know Sonic.
I remember there being something with them like playing like guitars and drums and stuff.
Yeah, that was Sonic Underground. That was the one that was always on when we were younger. Like you're coming from school and it would just be like Sonic Underground. Yeah, that was pretty good. I did like it. That was a pretty fun. I did play Sonic Heroes as well. I feel like that's the only Sonic game I properly played. Like, I'm not sure if I played any others. Have you played any Sonic games? 'Cause I think Sonic Heroes is the only one I really played.
I think I played like the old school ones. I played a couple of the like GameCube ones.
And I didn't even own a GameCube.
Well, it's like I feel like they all kind of blend together. Like, I don't remember exactly which titles were.
Yeah, they blend together for me because I didn't play them. So horrible to know. Like, people be like, "There's this Sonic game, this Sonic game." I'm like, "Is this the same thing?" I'm so sorry, Sonic fans. Please do not hate me. Don't don't hate me. But like, you know, like the other day I was actually watching a video essay where someone was doing like some Sonic retrospective, and I was just like, interesting. It was like an hour long, and I was watching it. And I don't know what I was watching it for. Sometimes I just watch things like that, and it's because it's just
I do the same.
entertaining. Like, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, what Sonic game is this? They're like, and compared to this Sonic, and this one came out, and then this, and and I'm just like, okay, I can see these are different games, but how? Like, besides some graphics, you know. But yeah, people about to get mad. I'm sorry, Sonic fans. Dragon's Dogma is pretty good. Yes, it is. I love Dragon's Dogma. I have for months had videos planned. By the way, guys, let's just be honest. I'm going until the 3-hour mark. I just want to talk about other stuff that's not Kingdom Hearts for the last 10 minutes. So at 3 hours, though, I'm definitely shutting it down, like 100%. So if you want to go, feel free to go because I'm not going to keep you guys here. But yeah, I'm not gonna keep going on about Kingdom Hearts. So at this point, I'll just talk about other stuff. So if you want to listen to me in the background, whatever, feel free. But yeah, basically, yeah, Dragon's Dogma is amazing. It's astounding. Like, it's just one of those things where I came across it by accident. I played the demo. There was a demo for it back when I had Xbox 360. It had a demo, and the way I found the game was basically I'd played a lot of the RPGs that were out on 360, and then I basically was like, what haven't I played yet? I knew that game was one I hadn't played. Let me see if I can get Sign Up for Dragon's Dogma up for you guys, because I do have. Do I have any Dragon's Dogma stuff? Don't think I do. I have the thing of the Netflix show, but that's not really. The Netflix show was all right. The Dragon's Dogma Netflix show, that was a surprise. I didn't expect that to come out. That was kind of a shock. It was cool. It was actually quite good, actually, in its own way. Like, if you don't view it as being the same as the game, it was actually quite cool. No, I can't do that. That's the Dragon's Dogma endings. I can't show you guys that. That's spoilers. But yeah, if you guys don't know about Dragon's Dogma, definitely check it out. Like, I think it's one of my favorite games for sure. Dragon's Dogma review. Is Dragon's Dogma worth playing in 2021? I can tell you that it is. But hey, maybe that's a video for you guys to check out. I can't speak to it, but for a lot of you, so it's probably good. I love Dragon's Dogma so much, and I think the main thing about that game for me is one, the gameplay. If you guys have played Shadow of the Colossus, it's like a bit of that, but it's got other things blended into it as well. I only say it's like that because you can like climb on the creatures. See, the thing about like with Shadow of the Colossus is like, okay, you can climb things, but it's not like there's not tons of different things to climb, like different enemies to climb. Whereas with Dragon's Dogma, it's like there's different stuff. Like, it's not just, you know, the same type of enemy. It's like you can climb almost basically almost everything, or you can grapple enemies and stuff like that. The gameplay is definitely one of the main draws of it. You also have like a companion that's called a pawn. So like a pawn in the sense of like, you know, like the pawn chess piece or whatever. And there's a whole lot of lore around that. I don't want to say a whole lot because the lore's not fully fleshed out, but there is lore behind it. And the pawns are interesting. You get to customize your pawn. And this is, for me, like, when I first played the game, that was one of the things that was one of the most appealing things about it. Like, you get to customize your own character, which I already love games with custom characterization. But then you get to customize your companion. And it's just like, oh my God. Like, you know, so it's kind of like you get two characters. You can't play as your pawn, but they travel throughout, you know, the world with you. And it's like, it's me and it's this other character, right? And you know how people are, they like to do their little role plays and make characters from their D&D campaigns or whatever. And it's like, this is great for like something like that. If you just want to have two characters that you want to have in a game or whatever, and then like there's like a story, and both of your characters will be in the cutscenes. Like your character will be in cutscenes, and sometimes as well your pawn will be in some of the cutscenes too, in whatever outfit you're wearing. Like I know that's not revolutionary entirely, but to be honest, outside of Dragon's Dogma, I don't really know many games or really any games that do that. You know, so I feel like it definitely had a lot of things that since still haven't really been, no one's replicated it, and I feel like that's a shame. So since I don't expect anyone else to replicate it, I hope Capcom does do a Dragon's Dogma 2 at some point, because for me that was one of the main things that made it like so good. There's other things about it, but I don't want to spoil it. I really don't. Like so much of it is, you know, so much things is in the experience of not knowing what you're going to get. Like that's what for me just blew me away with that game. I didn't go into it expecting it to be one of my favorite games. By the time I finished it, I was like, oh my days, like this is amazing. And I'm going to tell you like this as well. It's the type of game you have got to play twice. You've got to play it twice. Like it's you have got to play it twice. And I can't spoil it. There's a specific way you need to play it twice. And I don't want to say it. I do not want to say it, but there's a specific way you've got to play it twice, man. God damn it. I wish more of you knew about Dragon's Dogma. I'm going to have to make some Dragon's Dogma content. Oh my gosh. Oh God, it's. I'm sorry. You guys can hear the smile. I'm sorry. I'm fanboying out right now because I don't usually talk about it and I'm going off. So I apologize. I know some of you are just like, what is this game? He's got a picture of flipping Sora and Roxas and he's talking about Dragon's Dogma. Like next gen, go to bed. You're high. I'm not high, but you know, it is what it is. Hold on. I'm gonna get a video. I want to get a video of Dragon's Dogma up because I want you guys to look at it. But you guys can get it yourself. You'll find it. I don't want to ruin my stream, make the connection go busted again. It's a shame. I would love to show you guys, but yeah. Instead, you know what I'm gonna do instead? I'm just gonna get the trailer for the Netflix show because I already have that. And I'll just put that in the background. This isn't the game, but yeah, maybe it'll give you a bit of a...
Bro, you should play the thing I sent you, fam.
What?
The thing I
Hold
sent
on.
you, fam.
Well, my phone is dead. Great. Well, that doesn't usually happen. Great. Man. I like horror movie stuff. Really, Horror Pill? You like horror movie stuff? Are you sure? Are you sure? I couldn't have guessed. No, I'm joking. Yeah, your profile picture and username definitely checks out. Bravely Default. I have not played it, but I've heard great things. But I've not played it. Hold on, one moment, guys. I'm going to charge my phone quickly. I'm going to put in a charger up. I'm literally just across the room, probably still with me. This thing is dead. That's not good. But yeah, I've heard about Bravely Default, but I've not had the opportunity to play. Isn't it on wasn't it on DS or something? Because I didn't really play the DS games like that. So most of the things that were on DS I kind of missed out on. That includes Dreams of Distance, by the way. Like at first I didn't play it when it was on there because I didn't play the DS, really any DS games. Persona. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna hate me, but I've not played Persona either. I've not played Persona. I don't know the first thing about Persona. Like, I all I know about Persona is that it's got good music. That's all I really know. I'm such a casual. I'm sorry. I'm such a casual. But the main thing I know about Persona is that it's got good music. And that's about it. And I feel like it's got some nice tracks. And that's about it. May the 4th be with you. May the 4th be with you too. May the 4th be with you too. Look at this, only on Netflix. Yeah. But that show's already out. If you guys haven't seen that, you can go watch it. I'm not sure if it's still on Netflix. It should still be on Netflix. I mean, it's a Netflix show. Let's see. If I've got anything else to put up, I'm gonna shut it down in 3 minutes anyway. But I don't want this on the screen. I want Netflix's symbol on the screen. That's terrible. Let's find something else. Yeah. Let's that's perfect. Let's stick with that. That's a nice wholesome shot. That's a great way to. That's brilliant, isn't that? Don't you guys just love that? That's so wholesome. Look at that. It actually is wholesome, to be honest. If you watch the show, it actually is. Of course, it's. I'm not going to say nothing. It's wholesome, but yeah. Gonna have to watch the show. Octopath Traveler. I feel like you would really enjoy that game. Would I? Octopath Traveler is another one I think that was like handheld as well, wasn't it? Wait a minute. Octopath Traveler is on PC, isn't it? Hold on a minute. Is it on Steam? Yeah, it's. Oh, it's on everything. What am I talking about? It's even on console. Okay. Yeah, it is. Of course, I've seen it on. Okay. Yeah, I have seen it. All right. You know what, Ashton? You've been supporting, and it's not just that you've been supporting. To be honest with you, I had overlooked Octopath, perhaps for too long. So you know what? I'm going to add that to the backlog. So I'll get back to you in about approximately maybe about 4 years when I get through the rest of the backlog and finally get to it. Okay. So I'll see you in like 2025, 2026 or something. And yeah, we'll have a great discussion. I'm joking. But no, yeah, I'm definitely gonna add that. Like, there's so many games I have to play, and I don't play games as much as I did before. I mean, I do. I'm still heavily playing games, but I mean, I used to be even heavier. Yes, it started on the DS and then moved to the Switch. You've got to play Persona 4 Golden and/or Persona 5. I had Persona 4 Golden. I think, was it Persona? No, I had Persona. Is there a game that's called like Persona 4 Arena or Persona something Arena? I had that game on, I think, Xbox 360, but I don't remember where I got it from because it wasn't my game, but I had it and I was playing it a little bit and I never finished it. I don't know how that game connects to the canon of the series or if it's just a spin-off or what it is, but I did have that game. I feel like it was Persona 4, like Persona 4 Arena or something. I don't know. But yeah. Cool stream and happy belated birthday. Thank you. Thank you very much. Speaking of May 4th, Star Wars is in Kingdom Hearts now. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that was Endor. I know some people are like, that's not an ATST. Yeah, I'm pretty confident it is. I'm pretty confident. Like, people are like, it's just a rock. I don't know where you live where rocks look like that. Like, I don't know. You need to show me where you live where rock. I mean, to be fair, rocks and formations can be. But the problem is that the forest looks like Endor, and then the foot looks specifically like an ATST foot, even down to like having the same little like designs and the same. No, and the thing is it's not moving, right? It's not moving, which makes it seem like it's abandoned or it's dormant, and that would make sense because after the Battle of Endor, if an ATST was just left in the forest, that actually does make sense. Like, it would just be left there. So there's an actual context within Star Wars for why it wouldn't be moving. So if your argument is, but it's not walking around, yeah, there's a reason why. Because the Battle of Endor could be over by the time, whenever that is, because there's no one there. There's no battle going on. So for an ATST to be there, it's probably abandoned, right? So I actually do think it is Star Wars. What implications that has for Kingdom Hearts in terms of like world traversal in Kingdom Hearts 4 and stuff, and whether it's on the Quadranum side or whether it's on the Realm of Light side, I don't know. I would assume it's Quadranum because, in fact, no, I think Nomura even said everything before Donald and Goofy was related to Quadranum. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he said something to that effect. I'm pretty sure he did say that, but you can always fact check. But yeah, I think Star Wars is going to be in there, finally. I know some people don't like that. I was shocked, by the way, when I saw people saying like, I don't want Star Wars, because as far as I know, everyone wanted Star Wars. I'm like, what happened? Didn't we all say we want Star Wars? And now all of a sudden everyone's like, no Star Wars. Like, not everyone, sorry, but you know what I mean. Like, it's like, wow. You know, but the last video game I played was some 2D RPG called The Crooked Man. Horror Pill, you seem like someone who like likes all these like some indie title, like you're that person who would be telling you about some obscure game that's on Steam that like nobody's played before, and I'll just be like, what is that? And he's like, yeah, this is a great game, and I'll just be like, is it? You know what? That's usually how you find the hidden gems before everyone else, and then you tell people, and you feel proud. That's how I feel telling you guys right now about Dragon's Dogma. Even though at this point, Dragon's Dogma is like, over the years, it's growing, like more and more people are finding out about it. By the time when I played it, it's like, I remember trying to find videos on, even still now, like there's not tons and tons of videos and content surrounding it. But back when I played it, there was barely anything. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it, man. Yeah, I hope I enjoy it as well. I'm not joking, by the way. I am actually going to get it. If it's on PC, I'll definitely get it because I love that's the main way I like to play a lot of games now. So I'll definitely get it. I'll probably get it tomorrow or something. You know, I mean, why not? Kingdom Hearts to have a Robin Hood world. I don't know about all that, but I ain't gonna shoot it down. I'm not sure what Robin Hood falls under. Like, what is that? Like, is that Linus? Do you know what is like in terms of like, is that like a folk tale? Is that what it would be considered, like a folk tale?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I don't know
folktale.
what, because it's not mythology, so it's like, you know, and it's not like a grim tales like Red Riding Hood or something like that. I think that comes under like folklore or something like that, or like a folk tale. That's where I think that comes under. I'm not sure how those relate to Kingdom Hearts. I'm trying to think if there's been any. I don't think there has. But it could be interesting. But anyway, it is 3 hours and 5 minutes, and this time we are certainly shutting it down. Okay, because it's 2 in the morning.
So you gonna play the thing.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But I haven't. But if it's something that it's on my phone's dead, so I'll have to. But no, probably not. But if it's, hold on. Damn it. Was it a video? Did you send me something?
Nah, it's audio.
Oh man, my phone is on something long. God damn it. Horrible said, nice stream, I'll go to sleep. Yeah, I will. I mean, I say I will. I'll probably just go and watch a movie and then fall asleep. Right? But yeah, I appreciate you anyway, Horrible man. Appreciate you very much. Bless you, man. Take it easy and look forward to the next story. All right, man. I'll do my best. Oh, I should say, I mean, there's not many of you here, but I should say, just for those of you who are here at the moment, so I'm gonna obviously keep making theory videos and stuff, but trust and believe. Like, the content's gonna change. My original plan was in April. I was going to basically I wanted to try and get more content out in April, but I just didn't get around to it. Like, I didn't have as much time to make as much videos as I wanted, but I wanted to cover more stuff in April because from this month, from May onwards, like, I'm going to definitely start diversifying my content for sure. Like, it's not going to be, oh, there's no more theories. That's not what it is. But honestly, it doesn't really affect you. Like, if you already watch my stuff, then it doesn't really matter. But just know that you might start seeing me uploading things, and it might look like this, for example, like what we've got on the screen right now. It might be some Dragon's Dogma, and then you'll be like, "What's that?" You know, like why is Next Gen doing that? Like, is he just abandoning us? No, never. But just letting you guys know for now. So, but yeah, like yeah, just letting you guys know that anyway. So it won't really affect anything. I'm still gonna make theories. I've still got more theories coming. I don't want to say, I'm not going to say the number, but there's a few theories I've got right now that are going to be coming up soon. So you can definitely look forward to that. Also, actually, as well, on the Kingdom Hearts basis, there's other things I'm going to make that are related to Kingdom Hearts that aren't just theories. So I'm going to start doing like more like kind of like, I don't want to say general videos, but for example, like I want to talk about like the story and like the characters and just like things about it that I like that isn't necessarily a theory, you know. So like for example, I made a video about the Wayfinder trio, and in that video I said I want to do more videos like this, and then I haven't really since then done more videos like that. You know what I mean? So which I should, because a lot of people liked it, you know, even though personally I think the video is kind of mid, but whatever, you know, so people liked it, so it is what it is. But I'd like to do more videos like that, but a bit better than that, how that video was, you know. So talking about other stuff, other characters. Like I'll give you an example. One video I would like to do is talking about why Riku fell to darkness and why Sora didn't. It's not a theory. It's not like some crazy, the true nature of Sora is that he is this. It's not going to be something crazy like that. It's just going to be just talking about like things in a story, just like nice general things. I don't know. Because sometimes it's like I'm so used to the mode I'm in with the content. It's always theory. And it's like, bruh, like I can talk about more than a theory. I can talk about, and to be honest, I think I'm actually better at talking about stories than I am doing theories, in my opinion. I actually think when I break down a story or I express why I think the story is good, I think I'm actually better at doing that, in my opinion. Not saying I'm bad at theory crafting, I'm not, but I do think that's where my true strength really lies. So anyway, whatever. That's what you guys are gonna get, whether you like it or not, right? That's just what it's gonna be. So make a Demex Fury and then make a different content about some weird moves you can find. Make a Demex Fury. I'm sorry, Horrorpill. I don't know if it's coming, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if the Demex Fury is happening, man. There's other people who've made Demex Furies, but I don't know if I'm gonna be amongst their number. Express yourself and it's your channel. Power to the world. Demex Fury will be awesome. Oh my god, you're both on it. This is terrible. You're going up. Well, for you guys, I'm gonna try. Okay, just because Ashton, you've been supporting, and Horrorpill, you've been supporting. You know what? Even though you're only 2 people of like 2,000 something of my subscribers, I'm actually going to try for you guys. Okay, that's going to be. I'm going to try. I'm actually going to try and do it. All right, I'm going to try and make a demonstration. I'm warning you now. It might not be good, but I will try and make it halfway comprehensible. Okay, and it won't be a parody or me taking the piss. No, I'll try and do a genuine, actual theory about him. All right. God damn it. I feel like though my Locksword video is kind of like low-key Demex Theory a little bit, but not really. But I'll try. I'll try and do a video specifically on Demex. All right. You're right, Horrorpill. Okay. I'm going to go. Thank you very much, guys. That's it. I'm out. And yeah. Oh my gosh, one more comment. Unscramble. We'll have our Demex time. All right, we'll see. Okay, thank you guys. Be sure to leave a like on the stream if you haven't already. And I mean, I'm assuming you're all subscribed, but if you're not subscribed, then subscribe. And yeah, my name is Next Novelist. And that's all I've got to say. Oh, hold on, Litness, you can say bye as well.
Peace out, guys.
All right, guys. Yeah, that's all I've got to say, and I'm out, guys. Peace. Oh, and may the 4th be with you. See you later.